Everybody loves her, she is a little elf. It's the Kristen by herself show.
Hi! Hello everyone, my name is Kristen Trzynski. Welcome to the Kristen by herself show, except when her friends show up, aka I am rarely by myself. My name is Kristen Trzynski. I can't use my arms right now because I have tendonitis and it's really bad. I could barely set up this fucking stream. So, in place of what usually happens on the Kristen by herself show, which is that I draw things, instead, Bro Dingles will be here playing the part of my arms. Say hello, Bro Dingles.
Hello, I'm Kristen's arms. I'm huge noodles right now, and I constantly am trying to do things, but oh no, I did things so much that I don't work now.
That's not what my arms sound like.
That's exactly what your arms sound like.
That's not true. Shut up.
Oh, look at me! I'm Kristen's arms.
Well, they are noodles right now because I figured out how to deep tissue massage my own arms, so I feel pretty accomplished right now. I also it was a real struggle. Fun fact, I changed a lot of things in my Streamlabs because I was planning on I was like, oh fuck, I've done a lot of things wrong. Because fun fact, most of my use of OBS. Are you just going to keep wiggling the recursive beef? It's very distracting, bro. You know, before I go into the story, I'm gonna talk about this recursive beef that's going on here. Oh my god, I just realized a problem. I'm gonna have to get some lo-fi. Oh my god.
Oh god, you thought you clicked all the things, but it turns out you forgot to click
on the lo-fi! Oh no! So, hang on. I have to switch us to, the most important screen, the, Kristen by herself show image of me on a fucking stage. Split Guardian will not be joining us for the evening. This image is a lie. Let's see here. Do you think that Fredboat will actually work?
Who knows? YouTube has decided that Fredboat is illegal.
It has. Let's find out just for fun. Yep, Fredboat is illegal. Okay, so, basically, I get to listen to this, and the chat gets to listen to this, but Bro Dingles does not get to listen to this.
Oh, I guess I'm gonna sit in silence, aka open my own lo-fi.
Yeah. Oh well.
Whoops, I get to listen to illegal music.
Illegal. Actually, I'm 100% listening to illegal music. It's the Kristen by herself show, it doesn't matter.
God.
Anyway, back to the most important things. So, bro, can you please explain the recursive beef that's happening right now?
I gotta put on my lo-fi really quickly. There we go.
Of course, we gotta...
Chill Hop Essentials Fall 2019. Chill and Lo-Fi Hip Hop. There we go. Okay. Recursive beef, right. So, Kristen came in and was like, just immediately died laughing immediately. because there was just beef on beef on beef. You got triple beef patties over here. You got a triple decker burger. It's a whole pound and a half of just raw beef, and it's just like, and I'm doing this because for those of you who are into Discord Murder Party, a lot of the cast have decided to make Twitters.
Yep.
And and I've been trying to draw at least one thing a day in October as like an homage to Inktober without actually having to do Inktober. But what was I talking about? Right.
Recursive beef.
Recursive beef. One of those things that are happening on the Twitter is that Junior and Grace decided they were going to eventually have a workout session, and I was just like, well, that's a good excuse. So so now that's what I'm gonna be trying to get done. I apparently have like a pension. I guess pension is the right word for making fake photos because the goddamn 10 Polaroids from the one episode, one log, and then the Percy's birthday thing, and now this, and I have a problem. So anyway,
Like, Percy's birthday thing just makes me so happy. It's really heartwarming. I have not gotten to look at the Twitter accounts much because my arms don't work. So, fun fact, guys, I can't even really use my phone because the action of like moving the touch screen, scrolling on through my Twitter feed, that hurts me. I can't do it. But from what little I've seen has been great. Murder God also has a Twitter. She hasn't used it much because I can't use my arms. Though also, I don't know, I don't think anyone really wants to interact with Murder God. Murder God don't interact.
I have found the treating it as though your aunt has joined Twitter aspect of it kind of fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I think it's fun as long as people treat it like as a fun minor annoyance as opposed to like it's not fun.
In there for...
Yeah, like you gotta treat it kind of light, guys. Of course. Okay, listen. Yes, he threatened to. Okay, Miguel Cuddy did threaten to block Murder God, but he didn't actually block her. Because here's the thing with roleplay social media accounts, you have to allow for a certain amount of
interaction.
Suspension of disbelief interaction. Because if you block the person, then suddenly they just, wow, I guess we're not roleplaying then, that's fine. We can just say that Murder God has the ability to magically make it so you can't block her on Twitter. It's fine.
I just know that Junior joked about blocking her on Twitter, and she joked back, and he got really sad. It was like, hey, is it okay to block your aunt on Twitter? Asking for a friend. Is it okay to destroy the internet for everyone? Junior asking for a friend. Like, that little angry face was one of the favorite things that I have sent so far.
I appreciated coming up with a stupid excuse for why the Twitter exists. Honestly, that's so, having a proper social media account for a roleplay character is certainly not a new thing. This has been a thing. Before some of you were fucking born, this was a thing. I had live journals for roleplay characters once upon a time. Prudingles has minimized the game. Sit tight. Okay, I will.
I did not minimize the game.
So this has been fun, seeing how Clip Studio interacts with Discord. I really miss Discord screen share. Dear people who run Discord, if by some miracle you are one of our 10 viewers, I want you to know that we really miss just regular fucking, screen share for the group, and we really wish you would bring it back. It was much better for our streams than this is. Thank you. But anyway, so having social media characters for roleplay social media accounts for roleplay characters. This is a time-honored tradition. This goes even fun fact. So I've mentioned before that I super fucking love Psychonauts. One of the things the writers for Psychonauts did is they made MySpace accounts for all of the campers at Camp Whispering Rock, and they just had them all interact and shit, and that's how they helped work out what the characters were like. Which is and you can, I don't know if the MySpace pages still exist, because I don't know if MySpace still exists.
MySpace still exists, but it exists in it's a music sharing website now.
Yeah, so it probably isn't there anymore, but oh god, it was so fun. But
there's always Wayback Machine.
Yeah, that's true, there is. But yeah, so I've had Ask blogs before with dumb shit, okay, so how do I explain how this works? And then you have to, awkwardly try to jimmy and explain how it is that your character has access to Tumblr or LiveJournal or whatever. Oh god, the live journals I once upon a time had for characters. Oh god. Oh god. So do you think it's better or worse that we're using Twitter and we're not just doing Ask blogs on Tumblr?
Part of me wishes we were doing an Ask blog.
Yeah, me
then
too.
I could do more art or ask more questions. I could talk to people more, have people interact a lot more.
Yeah.
Without filling up feeds even.
Yeah, to be honest, I feel like Twitter is a very inefficient platform for this sort of thing.
Yeah.
I miss Tumblr. But this
I
is what we've gone with.
honestly just said that I was probably gonna go back to my Tumblr. Just cause I can't. I can't. I miss the interaction of having a fuck, why is this so hard?
Because drawing people doing push-ups is difficult.
Fuck are your knees? What is the stick version of this?
Muscles.
Like, because I'm also trying to make sure the form is proper.
Mm-hmm.
Though I will admit, Junior's kind of an asshole and would probably look directly into the camera like a bitch. But
What's up? I have super strength. This is nothing for me. I've done like 500 of these in the past 10 minutes. This is nothing. 10 minutes, excuse me. I am really lowballing here. 500 in the past like 3 minutes. And
oh my god, you're tired? Oh my god.
Oh
I
my
can't believe I just started. Like, this is my warm-up.
This is like one of the few things that few times where he's smug about the things the Black Stars have provided him.
He's like, listen, I got one good thing.
Let me have this.
My athleticism is the only thing
I have. It's so good. Oh god.
See, now I got a question. Do I want him in an up position? Because I also have to remember that Grace is right here.
Yeah.
Like, do I want him in an up position? Do I want him in a down position? Let's have all of them up except for whoever's down here, and they're just like dead.
They're just dead. They're just dead. Is that Tommy, Cancer Arms, Gwendolyn, or John?
I can't decide if I think it's John. No. Like, cause here's the thing: if it's Tommy, it's so far to the left. But like Grace is fit.
Mm-hmm.
Junior's a monster. Like, I need a regular human. Tommy is kind of like here. Like,
Cancer Arms.
you know, this is the hierarchy. This is the most serious drawing session I've ever had. What are you talking
This is very important, very serious. Oh, things have gone JPEG-y. I sure hope the internet stops being dumb.
Is it my internet or your internet?
I can only assume your internet.
It's probably mine.
Yeah.
Let me... which is weird. Which is weird.
Yeah.
It's been
Hierarchy of
fine.
strength. There we go. It's back. Yeah, so the past couple of times I've done so both Fridays that I've streamed recently, wherein I had to capture screen share, I had to deal with it like just hiccuping really badly and getting super like pixely, which was fun when Xander and I were both trying to read from like text on screen. It was not fun.
I actually listened in on that one.
Yeah.
Like, I've been trying to listen in on more of our streams because I have time now.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least sometimes I have time. I never get to listen to Fallen Empires because it's always on when I'm on the bus!
No!
So I'm always behind, and everybody's like, hey, what episode are you on, Bro Dingles? And I'm like, I'm still on episode 38. And then it's just like, why are you still on episode 38? You've been on episode 38 for like 3 weeks now. It's just, I'm trying, okay? I don't get the opportunity to listen to Fallen Empires a lot. And, like, I can't do it while I draw because then I get too concentrated on Fallen Empire. So I do it while I ride my bike, but I only ride my bike for like 20 to 30 minutes at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, like, anyway, listen to Fallen Empires.
Fallen Empires, it's a good show.
You know what, this is anatomically incorrect, however.
It's fine.
I was going to say, however, it's fine.
It's fine. It's fine.
So you get the point.
They can use their arms better than I can.
They can use their arms was the end of that sentence.
They can use their arms, unlike me. So, I figured out how. So, this is a dumb story. So, when a bunch of us went to MomoCon, which, as many of you know at this point, was a thing that happened, so I learned that Phil is really good at giving massages. And, like, I really fucked up my legs by existing, and he was like, do you want, like, a deep tissue massage? I will warn you that is going to hurt very badly. And I was like, yeah, sure, that'll be fine, I can handle that, that'll be fine. And then I screamed a lot for, like, half an hour.
She did.
It was really pathetic. But then my legs
funny.
worked! It was funny? You think my pain is funny?
Yes. You should know this by now. We've been friends for like 2 years.
Why? Why are you like this? I acknowledge that my pained yelps are probably really cute, but also shut up.
I just knew in the back of my brain, Kristen will feel better after this, therefore I don't feel sorry.
This is unnecessary suffering. Just lets it happen. I'm like, ow. But yeah, it did work. After that, for like... Actually, my legs were good until I started running again. But even then, they've been better than they've been in years because Phil saved my fucking life, which is wonderful. So anyway, this is to get to the point where, so I have tendinitis in my arms. I have always had tendinitis in my arms. Well, okay, not always, but this has been an issue since, like, high school, which is, in case you all didn't know, a while ago at this point. So I have flare-ups of this all the time, and since we worked, like, non-stop on DMP for the past, like, month and a half, I just sort of kept going without pausing. And, then I couldn't use my arms to do anything. You want to use your phone? You can't. You want to click on things? You cannot do that. I made food on Monday, I think. I made a butternut squash pasta. And it's like, oh, that seems like that shouldn't be that crazy. Squash is kind of, like, hard to cut, because it's kind of strunk. It's kind of a strunk vegetable. Like these push-ups. And the real murder and Discord murder party were Kristen's arms. Accurate. But the process of trying to like put in strength to cut this stupid butternut squash was enough to mess up my arms again. So I keep thinking, okay, I'll rest, yeah. And then I'll be an idiot and be like, I'm gonna cook. I'm gonna clean. And then it's like, it turns out I was supposed to not do anything. At all. It was unfortunate. But anyway, I learned how to do deep tissue massage on my own fucking arms, and then I just sat there and watched Dimension 20 for like 4 hours, and now my arms are all weird and floaty, and like I don't have full muscle control currently, but it doesn't hurt to use them, so that's good news. It's possible I might have saved myself. Anyway, that's the end of my boring story. I know how much you guys wanted to come to a stream to listen to me talk about my health issues. That's everyone's favorite thing.
Isn't that what we do every stream, Kristen?
Next, I'm gonna tell you about my dream.
What's your dream?
No. The joke is okay. So there's this list of things that generally it's agreed upon that you shouldn't talk about in polite conversation because no one wants to hear about it, supposedly. Mm-hmm. I don't know how true this is, because I personally love hearing about people's dreams. And I don't really care if people tell me about their health issues or whatever. Like, by all means, if that's what's on your mind, go for it. But I guess this is a thing. I don't know. But that's one of them. So, tell me about your dream. I haven't dreamed of anything. I've done nothing but sleep and try to get my arms to heal. I will say, I managed to I woke up not tired for the first time in, like, years. So that was pretty great. What a wild time. Wow. Dreams are whack, yo. It's fine. But yes, so that's
gonna make a tangent.
I'm sorry, I taught you this. I'm sorry, I told you about tangents.
That's gonna make a tangent.
Oh yeah, the dream where I had to talk a serial killer out of killing me. Yeah.
Someone remembers.
Oh god. Yeah, that was intense. No, most of my dreams recently have been dumb shit. Like, have been dumb. Mostly, all of my dreams recently have been DMP is ruined forever and it's all your fault. Because that's all I've been doing. Like, God.
God.
I had a dream before Lotus Eater that, like, there was a surprise change right beforehand, and not only was there a surprise change right beforehand, but for some reason, we were all, we were streaming out of my apartment, and everyone was, like, physically at my apartment. This was, like, a theater production thing, like, full on. And, like, so we had the cameras all set up, and there was, like, a prompter and things. It wasn't my apartment, it was, a friend of mine's apartment, but that's not important. So we were all getting all set up, and suddenly there was this surprise change, and suddenly Cammy was there, and we were trying to figure out what to do, and, like, we just couldn't seem to get to an endpoint. Like, just the entire scene was hanging, everything was going wrong, and I'm trying to figure out how to stop this thing, but for some reason, Cammy won't let me end this scene. She just won't let me stop. And I'm like, no, please! And I'm sitting there trying to figure out what the fuck to do, and, like, I kind of look over, and, like, Alex is, like, behind the prompter, and I can see, like, the light leaving his eyes as he realizes that everything is going wrong. And so finally, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna put us on hold. Okay, cool. So we're on intermission. It's okay. We just gotta plan out what to do next. So we're all trying to talk it out, but no one can seem to agree on what to do, and everyone's arguing, and everyone can agree that it's all my fault. And as all this is happening, I see our viewer count leave. For some reason, half of our viewers are physically there in this apartment, and they all get up and leave. And I'm like, no! And then it's just, Alex is just like, I can't believe you ruined Discord Murder Party, and I'm like, no! Alex, wait!
Poor Kristen. Hey, Junior, maybe can you stop for like 2 seconds?
Stop what? What has your son done wrong?
I want you to say that again.
I don't know. He hasn't done anything wrong in his life.
What has he done
What
wrong
has your
today?
son done wrong?
What has he done wrong today is the question.
What has Junior, no last name, ever done wrong? I can't. I want everyone to know this is a really normal conversation for us. I feel like we joke about the fact that Junior has killed 19 people like at least 3 times a week. You'd think it would get old, but it never does.
It doesn't. It just doesn't.
He's gotta fill out that punch card.
God. I thought of making spoilers for last episode. I thought of making where the forks is Christine shirt. God. And like shout out to that one person that picked up my very subtle Zack and Cody reference. How do you lose a woman? I was just like, wait a minute. This is perfect wording. It fits. I don't need to feel bad.
If enough people want that shirt, I will make it if you buy it. There are so many DMP shirts that I want to make, but I think only like 3 people would buy them. But also, like, consider.
I just like the idea of having the shirts. I don't really care if anyone buys them. Right? Like, that's where I am right now. maybe if I cover his legs, I don't have to draw them again.
I mean, you know, if you guys want DMP merch, fun fact, I'm supposed to be making merch for that con I'm selling at, so some of it might be DMP merch. If you can't go to the con, you can probably, I can probably set it up so people can buy it. Because we keep having talks of, like, merch we should make for, like, ever.
There's merch I still want that,
Yeah,
like, we
I
talked
know.
about forever ago.
Yeah, we still gotta make the That's So Junior shirt.
Like, there's that So Junior shirt, there's that one print of Vincent I really wanted.
Yeah, God, I see, it's been a year, and now I look at that picture, and I hate it so much, and I know you want it as a print, and I'm like, why does bro
I still
want
kind
this?
of, want a print of the paintings that you did.
Oh, yeah.
Those I actually want more of than I want the one Vincent one.
I feel like I should...
Like, I want those on my wall, Kristen. They were my phone background for, like, a really long time.
I might, honestly, I might fix the Murder God one and then sell them as prints. Because the Murder God one, the issue is her proportions are wrong. But other than that, I'm pretty happy with them, so... Vincent Guess I'll Die shirt. Guess I'll Die. But there's too many options for the Vincent Guess I'll Die shirt. We have too much art.
I wish your tattoo was on your other arm, Junior.
You could always flip the screen.
But then that messes with, like, my... Do you ever have, like, a brain image and, like, if it moves too much?
Yeah, I understand.
Like, I don't know if the tattoo is worth it.
I run into this problem all the time with Junior. Like, I'm like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if we could see... God, that's gonna fuck up the whole composition.
It screws up the whole composition if you just try to show his tattoo. Why did I put it on his right arm? Because it's his dominant arm. Well... Well, boo-hoo.
It's fine.
Junior.
He knew that he was gonna be ashamed of it and not want it to show up dramatically whenever possible. It's fine. This is fine. There's so many Guess I'll Die Vinnies. Yeah, I'd really like to sell, like, I know, for the con I'm gonna be setting up prints for, like, the one super edgy picture of Murder God I just made with all the flowers and shit. And, the dance image. The flowers one, I'm probably gonna make a t-shirt sometime, because I keep having people who don't even know what DMP is tell me they want it as a shirt, so that's a good sign. But that one's gonna be a print. The dance image is gonna be a print. I might do some prints of the paintings, but, we'll see. I thought about doing some prints of not the first Valencia backstory image, but the second one. Cause it's partially, not necessarily because these things will sell, although if people want to buy them, by all fucking means. Because, like, if you're at a con or something, you need stuff that's, you know, gonna catch people's attention and make them walk over, so they'll spend money on the buttons that they're going to buy instead.
Yeah, I'm guilty.
Well, it's just well, it's understandable. Like, prints are very hard to, like, they don't travel well.
I have nowhere to put them, and they don't travel well, and...
Yeah. That one super edgy picture of Murder God, you're gonna have to be more specific. Fuck you! Listen.
I did have, like, 3 in mind, and then you said the one with the flowers, and I was like, oh, that one!
Wait, what are the other edgy ones?
The painting one, the one with where her eyelashes are very long but very beautiful. Then it's a side profile.
Oh yeah. So the 2 Inktober murder. No, wait, there are more. You know what I thought.
There's more. 2 examples.
Listen, she's my edgy OC. Everyone's gotta have an edgy OC. I don't know how I get away with having mine.
That's like somebody being like, hey, that one handsome picture of Junior, and then it's just like, oh yeah, which
the
one?
handsome bust of Junior. Yeah, but that's less hilarious than edgy.
Oh no, it's way less hilarious. I'm just saying it's the same, like, concept.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, if somebody were to ask me that, I'd have to be, you gotta be more specific.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, if someone said to me that one edgy picture of Murder God, I'd be like, okay, now I know you're fucking with me. Which one?
This ended up being a more pleasant face than I anticipated.
He's just having a fun time. This is nothing for him. Yes, Kristen herself told you fuck you. Truly, this is a moment you can tell your grandchildren about. It's really, really big. But yeah, so I'm gonna be selling some prints. And also, like, I was thinking I was gonna make, like, Black Stars buttons. Stuff like that.
Please.
Yeah. What I would really love to do is do, like, a pin or something. Like, one of the, like, nice fancy metal pins of, like, one of the Black Stars would be cool. But that's something I'd have to do, like, a Kickstarter for or something. Because those are expensive to make.
Yeah. Where's my Gray Slayer? Great.
I found him!
I found John! There he is!
It just fucking appears!
There's Grace.
There she is!
Let me name my layers eventually.
Ah, yes, the great crime Straczynski problem of why don't I ever name my layers? God, just the fucking... That was much funnier than it really should have been.
It's like, where's Grace?
Wow. God.
Greetings from the floor.
But yeah, there's a lot of art that I think it would be cool to make prints of and stuff, and I want to make like a That's So Junior shirt, and also the One Flowers Murder God picture would be a shirt. I've been thinking of like, maybe I'll do like some cool like graphic design bullshit with I Am the Void Given Breath and add some Black Stars or something, and it'll be kind of edgy and like subtle. I love me some subtle graphic design. I'm a slut for it. Just love me some edgy graphic design.
God, I thought I deleted the sketch layer for a second, and I was about to get very angry.
But yeah, I don't know. Oh yeah, what we really need is we need like a fucking like t-shirt or a sticker or something that says it's fine, don't worry about it.
We do,
We
honestly.
really
That's
do.
one that's so general that like anybody could get it.
Exactly.
And two, catchphrase.
Catchphrase. Catchphrase! But yeah, that would be cool. Honestly, there's like a lot of stuff like that. I wish, like, I have so many fucking merch ideas, but I'm just worried no one would buy them. Which is probably irrational. The hard
I think
thing-
people would buy them. I buy the stuff for people's OCs at cons all the time.
That's fair.
Like, and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, this is my ultra popular series on the onlines," and I'll just be like,
On the online.
"I've seen this before."
That's true. That is kind of what I'm hoping for. I'm like, if I make the OC pictures, it will make my show sound legitimate. I went to dinner with a friend the other day, and I was talking about the show, and like, I was showing them some of the fan art and stuff. I'm like, oh yeah, here's the little like murder bean plush that someone made of Murder God. Oh my god, you guys have like a legitimate following. Me thinks about it for a second. Oh yeah, sometimes I forget.
No, my family like heckin' lost it when that one person made the Yarn Junior.
Oh my god.
my mom was like, "What? There's a what? No, like she basically like she was just so excited, and she saw it. She was like, "Oh my god, it's so cool, it's so cute," and I was just my mom is like, she simultaneously approves and disapproves of Discord. Like the other day, I learn every day that she's more aware of it than she lets on, because we saw this long-haired guy just walking around the park, and I like discreetly went over to her and said, "I want to draw him," and she said, "Yeah, I figured, but also don't you already draw a character just like him?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" She said, "You know, it looks like him with the long hair and a ponytail, but like with the eyeglasses and slash visor thing, and also like the mustache," and she makes this hand movement with her mustache in the McGillicuddy's exact little W, and I just started screaming, "Ow, ow, 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 ow."
Oh god, are you okay?
Yes. And I just start screaming in the middle of the park because we were outside. Screaming. I start howl laughing. "It's Dr. McGillicuddy!" You mean Dr. McGillicuddy?
Here. Oh, look, it's Queen. Yes, this is your daughter, Queen.
It's like, and God, every heckin' day she finds like you'll see a guy and go like, that's just Daniel, and I'll just be like, what? Like
Tell them
every
about
apparently.
tell them about the off-brand Daniel.
Okay. So I was on this dating app called Bumble. Don't at me. And I was on this dating app called Bumble, and like I was scrolling through some of the dudes for fun, and I run into this guy, and my mom stopped me. I believe this is how this went. My mom stopped me, and she goes, "Oh my god, it's him." I'm just like, "What?" And I look at this guy's profile. He actually seems pretty cool. And she says, "It's him. You can't. You have to talk to him." I'm like, "Why?" She said, "Because it's Pastor Brian." And I'm just like, "Pastor Brian? Who's Pastor Brian?" And she's just like, "He's ginger and he has like a lot of hair and a beard and he looks like a youth pastor and Pastor Brian, you know Pastor Brian." And I'm like, "Who are you talking about?" Your one character from Murder Discord." And I was like, "Daniel!"
Pastor Brian.
Pastor Brian!
Pastor Brian. God, I just can't get over.
Like last night I got such great hits as Caleb Hiles as Pastor Brian.
Caleb Hiles is Pastor Brian. Oh God, I hope not.
My mom's just like, he gives off such big youth pastor energy. And I'm just like, what? Big youth pastor, what?
Your mother used the phrase big youth pastor energy?
She used the phrase youth pastor energy.
Oh my
but
God!
But she did not use the phrase big youth pastor energy because she has no idea what big BDE is.
Okay, that's for the best. But
like there's a reason, okay, like this might seem off topic, but it's not entirely off topic. There's a reason that Junior says some stuff the way he says it. Some of his speech patterns are just my mom. It's like my mom was 20 in the 90s. God, so that's why he'll say stuff like vibe. That's why he talks about vibes, and that's why he talks about like moods. And that's why he talks like that. It's because my mom talks like there's a lot of words that people are like, oh, he wouldn't use the word lit. My mom's just like, we've been using the word lit since before.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, lit was absolutely a thing in the 90s. Children, do you think you invented?
Like most of modern slang was not invented by the youth of this time.
Guys, honestly, the current like quote unquote youth thing is kind of summoning a lot of 90s energy. Like it is. I would know.
Like here's the thing. I went into God, I drew her boobs wrong. I didn't even give them to her. No, I went to the like Rue 21 the other day, and I walked in, and there's an entire wall dedicated to 90s nostalgia. And one, I took a picture of it because I thought it was funny, and also I want to draw Junior in these clothes. And two, I saw it and I was just like, I wonder how it feels to have your age like basically being repackaged and sold as like a new aesthetic. It was such a simpler time. No, it was not.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
It was literally 20 years ago. Please calm down.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I feel the nostalgia draw strong. I'm not gonna say I don't like. It's not that it was actually a simpler time. It felt that way because you were younger. I know the 90s wasn't really a simpler time. In fact, in retrospect, there's a lot of things that I'm aware of that I'm like, well, fuck. But it doesn't change the fact that I do long for that good 90s nostalgia because I miss that feeling of security. And I miss being able to go all the way to the fucking airplane gate. That was nice. That was a good time. But yes, sorry, I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna go off on yet another tear about how much I hate having
Thing
my
about
nostalgia.
being packaged and resold to you.
Yeah, like,
'Cause we do this every stream.
I know, I'm sorry, fuck, oh god,
This is my fault for bringing it up. I used that exact word just
you
'cause
did, I just, it's very frustrating. I saw a thing recently that was like just a video essay talking about the whole like concept of vapor, like Stranger Things and vaporwave and the whole like just packaging that 80s 90s nostalgia and kind of like what we thought the future was going to be like versus what it's actually like. It was really interesting. I would recommend it. You'd probably find it on YouTube if you looked it up. But yeah, anyway, think for
maybe if I cover her boobs.
Maybe if I cover her boobs, I won't have to draw them. Her tie isn't gonna completely obscure her boobs.
But it obscures the cleavage part,
That's fair,
which is
yes.
the part that I'm having trouble with. Like leaving a weird little hump here is enough to imply a boob.
Yeah. I mean, you shouldn't be able to really see her cleavage anyway.
There wouldn't be cleavage that I'd be seeing, but it would be like, it's weird. That's weird. It's a weird angle because that's also wrong. I've tried like a couple, and the thing is, most female athlete photos that you find on Google are women with very small boobs.
Yep.
So like, and they're also wearing a sports bra, which means that they basically have no boobs. In Grace's case, she is not wearing a sports bra, and I don't know what her bra size is, so I'm just like, I don't know what I should do about it. Should I acknowledge them? Should I not acknowledge them? I'm just not gonna acknowledge them. Grace is boobless for now.
Just boobless.
See, and that looks weird. I can't do it.
I think she needs. I guess like I would say she's like a B. At least that's usually what I draw her at, is like a B. But Waltz into Queen's DMs asking for Grace's bra size. Not for a weird question. I need to know for the workout picture. Wait, that does sound weird.
You know what? Just screw it. I'm gonna go ultra cartoony, and I'm just gonna put a little hump here, and that's her chest. That's a boob.
Perfectly fine. That's a boob.
I already had to take her glasses off. She's already barely recognizable.
She's barely Grace Garden.
Oh god, she wears a skirt.
She does wear a skirt.
Guess. Grace Garden doing push-ups in a skirt.
Yep.
Clothes are weird.
Clothes are very weird.
I need to re-rotate the canvas back to where it's supposed to be so that I can actually know where the floor is. Okay.
It's fine. It's fine.
Sorry, I took the entire thing to talk about Grace's boobs.
No, it's okay. It was a very important topic. I'm just I'm also trying to figure out what the fuck you would do for the folds of her skirt and stuff. Cause yeah, that skirt goes down to her ankles. It's long.
Yeah, I know that it rode up a little bit because
Yeah.
she had to kick it up in order to go down.
Yeah.
So it'd probably
bunch up a bit, kind of where.
here.
Yeah, it would kind of pull there, and it would also, at least. If I'm wearing a long skirt and I were to do, push-ups, honestly, I'd probably push the skirt up to, around, just below my knees or something, just so they weren't,
I don't know. I don't wear skirts.
I do. Listen,
Or,
you don't wear glasses when you work out.
Yeah, you don't. It fogs them up.
Yeah.
And it gets sweaty. It gets all sweaty in them.
Yeah,
If I can't put her glasses, but I cannot put her glasses back on in good faith. But honestly, the fact that she's still wearing the skirt is enough.
Yeah.
I think it's just because she doesn't have any other clothes too. That has to be the reason.
Yeah.
She probably took her boots off, so she's wearing I imagine higher socks.
Eventually, I'll be able to use my arms again, and then I can then Murder God can say, "Here, you can have workout clothes." Jesus Christ.
Can we have workout clothes, Murder God? Please?
Yes. I'm glad that
I
Murder
almost
God's...
wanted to draw this picture in workout clothes because, like, I don't know.
They would look cute in workout clothes.
You know what? Screw it. I'm putting everybody in workout clothes.
God,
And if
this
somebody
looks
asks,
so cute. But I like
it
this. You
does.
put so much effort. Look, just leave it like this for now. You can always do another workout picture.
Yeah.
They're gonna work out more than once. They gotta keep up those gains. Add effect to layer. Sometimes it just zooms into the... I don't know why. It's really weird.
Add effect to layer.
Add effect to layer.
Well, there's Junior and there's Grace. Grace. Junior.
Add effect to layer.
Is that really all it's showing? I've never changed.
No, just everyone's saying it now, and for whatever reason, it's very funny to me. Add effect to layer. Egg.
God. Oh god, Murder God missed the pizza debacle
What
from
the
last
fuck was the pizza debacle?
Okay. So like after destroying the pool, I woke up. I didn't sleep. That's a lie. I didn't sleep. So I got on Twitter and I was reading through it, and they were talking about like, hey, maybe we should play Mario Party. And then if I remember, Murder God okayed it. So they were talking about doing Mario Party, and then Grace like added Junior and was like, "Hey, do you think we'd be able to get like a pizza or something, like one of those pizza things, because it looks delicious and I want to try it?" So Junior's just like, "Haha, I don't think they have delivery in the void." Wait.
Oh my... Rotate left.
Rotate.
Why does it do this?
I don't know. It doesn't when I do.
I don't know why. It's really random, but it's very funny.
It doesn't when I do like Mixcraft too, because like it's probably because it's streaming it as a game, and it's like this is the real active window, and it's like no, it's not.
Yeah.
But
anyway,
it might actually take me the whole 3 hours in order to finish this, which is unusual for me.
well, I mean, you're also talking, so
Yeah, but it's like, in John. Yeah, but like, and then he goes, "Wait, I don't understand how food works in the void." And then Tommy's just like, "I think we just kind of like ask for the thing, and then we get the thing." And it's just like, okay, here's the plan. And then Grace is like, "Okay, let's make a pizza. Let's just make a pizza." And it's like, okay. And then DDD's just like, "I'm gonna go make a pizza myself. I'm gonna get the Waddle Dees to get us a pizza." And Junior's like, "Okay, so here's the pizza plan. We try to get as many pizzas as possible in as many ways as possible." So Tommy's like, "I'm gonna go try to find the kitchen, right?" So Tommy finds the kitchen and he finds the pizzas and he tweets out, "Okay, all the pizzas, we have like several types of pizza here. I currently have about 40 pizzas that I'm just pulling out. But they all have daggers, the Black Star symbol, and eyes. Like all the stuff is here. It's the normal toppings, but they're shaped like this." And it's like, "Oh, well, cool." And then Tommy's just like, I can't stop getting pizzas. There's so many pizzas, Junior. Junior, how do I stop the pizzas?
How do I stop the pizzas?
So then, like, Tommy ends up buried in pizza, and like Junior's trying to find the kitchen. Tommy's kind of lost. Grace is like, "Okay, I give up. I'm going to the kitchen." And she finds the kitchen. She rolls up her sleeve. She starts making a pizza. Valencia comes in. Valencia's like, "Oh, can I help?" And it's just like, "Sure." And so she pyromancies the pizza crust, and she fucking ruins Grace's perfectly made dough. So then they try again, and then King DDD comes back with a deep dish, and like Tommy's scarred beyond repair. Junior's just trying to clean the kitchen. Valencia God. Valencia is trying again to do the thing, and basically at the end of it all, the doctor's just like, what the fuck is going on? And then Percy walked in and was like, oh, can I have some? And that's it. That was the they never got to play Mario Party because they were too
Just
busy.
decided they wanted the pizza.
It's like, I feel as though Junior and Tommy have decided that they're going to cause as much mischief as possible. No matter.
I mean, if you're stuck in the void, and really, you can have whatever the fuck you want.
God.
You can have whatever you want, you just can't leave.
God. The ending pizza experiment, if I remember the tweet correctly, was the pursuit of science may or may not have been worth the outcome. God. Here we go. Here's our main cast of the workout session.
Yay. It sounds like a very fun time. I'm sad that I missed it.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Like I said, I don't know. I'm like, I don't know how much I can really add to this anyway. Let's see. I wish I could join the thing.
God.
But yeah, it sounds like a fun time. No guys, the Twitter accounts are not canon.
They're not canon.
Yeah.
There's no possible way for them to be canon.
Yeah, because like John's there, and so is DDD, and also Zeffy has a Twitter, so.
I don't know what I should do for this background. I want to keep it simple because I actually want to be able to finish this eventually.
Just get a stock image of like a workout room and just throw it in the background.
See, I tried to do that with the kitchen because I tried to draw the pizza thing, and I'd have to find a very specific angle.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like if what I've learned about doing stock image backgrounds is that I have to start with the stock image.
Yeah, that's fair.
What if I just put like a ballet bar behind them?
I mean, that might work. I don't know. I never go to gyms.
Well, they tend to have like they tend to have a mirror wall. Oh, I could put a mirror wall.
That could work, yeah.
Oh, but then I have to draw the reflections.
No.
That would be funny. Drawing the reflections with actually drawing reflections. Margaret's just like dead on the floor. Graham is like trying to do a push-up. Daniel's I'm gonna figure out what to do for this.
Yeah.
It could just be a wall, but that's boring. Maybe if I raise everything a little bit, fill up more of the space.
I mean, that might work, then you wouldn't have to worry about it so much.
What layer does this start on? Okay, there's the junior. So then I'm gonna make a folder. Then I'm gonna put everything in that folder. You know, like a boss.
Like a boss.
What year is it?
2019?
God. Remember when Like a Boss was like the thing
Yes,
to say?
I do. God, Like a Boss.
There we go. That fixes the background problem. Whoever's taking the pictures just really low to the ground.
Yeah, it's fine. So when the Like a Boss song came out, I was really into the movie 9. And somebody had posted that in relation to the character 1, who was my favorite, because he's not a very good person and therefore he has depth. That's how I feel. But yeah, I don't. Anyway, that's what I think. I'm not gonna get into a long spiel about my feelings on the movie 9, a film that is not very good, but I really like it.
Is 9 not good?
No, it's
Oh,
it's not that it's bad. It's just it has a lot of like flaws rating wise. It's kind of clunky.
okay. Because I remember when 9 came out, there was huge like falling for it. Like, why isn't this movie more popular?
Because the movie itself isn't very good. It's one of those things where like the concept and characters are stronger than the actual like the movie is just kind of clunky, unfortunately. The characters are really interesting and there's some really good stuff in it, but I feel like it could have. It's one of those things where it's like you can tell there were a lot of ideas and a lot of the ideas did not make it into the movie, and also like just I was so fucking excited for 9 cuz it has one of the best fucking trailers. It has a very good trailer. So I was like really excited. And so my fiance and I went and saw it like opening night and we were both like, well, that was a solid 7 out of 10. Yep. The trailer, however, was a 10 out of 10. Yes. And then we went home and I sat there and I was like, this movie was a 7 out of 10. And I'm gonna write a lot of fan fiction about it.
Kristen, you understand me on a deep emotional level.
Well, here's the thing. So here's the thing with like a film that's more like a 7 than a 10 is that means there's a lot of room for you, the person watching it, to fill in the blanks for yourself. So I wrote a few character studies because I saw potential, and so that's really. I liked 9 because I liked the potential for the characters in 9, not because like I really loved the movie. If that like.
No, that makes complete sense.
Yeah.
I do that all the time.
Yeah, like that I've noticed that happens in like. There's a lot of fandoms that actually exist more around like the the concept and fan interpretation than it does for the actual thing. Like the Onceler fandom isn't really about the movie very much. Or if it is,
it's about the potential of the character.
Yeah, exactly. It's about the potential of the character, and then there's a lot of like extrapolating on like very small things going, and this means this, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be real, I get why you would believe that, but I've listened to this. This is an aside, but the commentary for the Lorax, so I've listened to the commentary for both the Lorax and Horton Hears a Who. The people who made Horton Hears a Who fucking love Horton Hears a Who. No one cares about Horton Hears a Who more than the people who made Horton Hears a Who. The people who made the Lorax did not give a shit. You can really, like, they didn't care. At least the people who doing.
I genuinely like the Lorax as a movie.
Yeah, it's a fun movie, but it has a lot of flaws.
It has a lot of flaws,
but I still enjoy
it. It's a fun
it.
movie.
It's a fun movie.
Yeah,
but it's not. I wouldn't. But
it's not the world's greatest movie
Yeah.
yet. I will repeat because it's one of those movies where I don't have to think super hard about it.
Yeah.
But like also I can if I want to.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like there's a lot of movies that I like that like there are definitely flaws in it, but I still enjoy it, and I think that's perfect. You're allowed to like a thing even if it's not like perfect or whatever. That's totally fine. That's okay. But it's also okay for you to say there are things about this that were not good. That doesn't mean that you're like. That doesn't mean you hate it. You can criticize a thing while still liking it. I know I'm saying insane things here right now, but
that was me with Randy Cunningham, honestly, because like this means nothing to no one because no one watched or cared about Randy Cunningham.
I have no idea what you're talking about. So
exactly. It was a show on Disney XD about a 9th grade ninja, and I've actually referenced it a couple times, and because I know nobody's going to understand me when I do it, and it's funny. But there's this one best friend character who was the absolute worst as a person, and the show never acknowledged it. In
Yep.
fact, it got to the point where like it felt as though the show was shaming you if you did not like this character. And I was just kind of like, here's the thing. The main character is borderline in abusive friendship with this character. I can't like for anybody who understands the sentence, I don't like Howard Wienerman, and you can quote me on that. I don't like one. His name is Heckin' Wienerman. No, I'm joking. I'm not gonna make fun of somebody having the last name Wienerman, but I have so much baggage, and like a lot of my favorite shows were those really weird like Disney XD, PBS Kids, Heckin'. I watched a lot of them, and for some reason, my brain was like, this is what I am going to become obsessed with for the next year and a half, and like I don't know. So like whenever I say I have really bad taste, people are just like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the fact that I get really into stuff that is like this sounds really bad because I'm drawing DMP right now, but that's like the opposite. This is like the outlier here.
No, it's okay. My show's shit. You can say it.
No, no.
No, it's okay. Go on.
Like I was just like, I feel like I'm digging a hole.
Go
No,
on.
whenever I say I have bad taste, it's because I'm into things that like are typically considered bad.
Mm.
As in like and then I'm just like, no, I personally connected to this on a level and I like it.
Mhm.
Like I do.
Mhm. I think that's totally valid. Like, I have like, there's like artsy critic Kristen that loves various things, and then there's like my weird like goblin brain that's just like, this thing is good. I was in the Onceler fandom once, and I just. It's like I was in the Onceler fandom once. I really loved Nine, a movie which I objectively know is not a good movie. Like,
Truffle Flu was good though.
huh?
Truffle Flu was genuinely
Trophy
good.
of Blue was good. You're correct. Listen, just because I think the Lorax, the film, is not a good film, does not mean I do not think that my own contributions to that
No, I
fandom aren't
just wanted
fucking great.
to bring up Truffle Flu.
All I want to say is that my fanfic is great, okay? I write really great character studies. But anyway,
I'm sorry.
it's very important. So, like, sometimes these two things cross. Like, Undertale is objectively good, and I also just happened to get obsessed with it. Uh, but but I always find the whole like the ways that fandom like happen to be really interesting. Like I was thinking about this today actually because I was thinking about the Twitters that we have. So there's this thing with fandom currently that we potentially run into that you didn't really see as much where like okay, so somebody has like a DeviantArt account or a Tumblr or whatever, and they post stuff about their OCs, right? And they say, hey, ask me about my OCs. And people do, and they answer questions about their OCs. And maybe sometimes they'll make like little comics or like single illustrations of like this cool thing that's gonna happen in their story. And they might tell you things about their story. And then suddenly there's a lot of fan art for that story. In fact, sometimes there's entire fandoms for this story. And the interesting thing is, when it comes to the actual story content, it doesn't actually exist.
Hazbin Hotel.
Yes. Has Been Hotel, or like, I was really into,
Hinabin.
yeah, I was really into Hannah Is Not a Boy's Name. I made like a fucking AU for it. It has a TV tropes page. People made cosplays. I'm very proud of that. I might one day redo that, but like with my own cast as opposed to Hannah Is Not a Boy's Name. But that is an aside. But it's just really interesting to me. So I was thinking about the fact that like with these Twitter, and honestly this is the case with DMP too, like we were talking about the fact that actually like, you know, Junior's only fully been awake since like what, like the start of July, I think.
Fully awake? Like fully?
Wait, I think it was like mid-July or end of July,
No,
something like
like
that.
fully or like
Fully awake, like not like
August.
yeah.
It was August, I remember. It
Yeah.
was my brother's birthday.
Yeah, but like so and from that perspective, Junior actually has not been a character for very long. But because we talk about him so much, and we actually talk about him with the fans a lot, to us and with a lot of the fans who are like in the fan server and stuff, uh, it will feel more like Junior's been a character for longer than he's actually been a character. Uh, it's just really interesting to me how like a character and a fandom can form in your brain just from like descriptions and having something be explained to you, even if you're not being given actual quote unquote content. It's kind of like a similar, I guess, to how you'd say, like, you'd understand this character better if you read the tie in comic or like the Samarillion or whatever, but it's like a more loose version of that. And in some ways, I think it's really cool, but also a small part of me it's because then you also end up like having stuff develop that's like it's no longer actually the thing at all. Because then fanon happens, and then sometimes you run into things where people get upset about like things not matching the fanon when it's like, but this was my thing. I
And
don't
it's
know.
like, no, no, that was never a thing. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really interesting. Like I don't think it's a bad thing or anything like that. I just think it's kind of interesting. Like with the Onceler fandom, the Onceler as a character is more a concept that was built into a character over the course of that fandom and then was then split into thousands of Oncelers with the same face but different characterizations, and what a time. What a time to be
I
alive.
miss Swag.
I miss Swag so much. I loved him.
Swag followed me for exactly 2 days and then unfollowed me.
Swag did actually follow my thing, so that was interesting. My Lorax blog that I had. God, oh god, I'm so glad all 17 of you are here to hear about my old. I don't even feel ashamed of it. I don't feel bad about
Like,
it.
I remember when we first both found out we were in the Onceler fandom, we were like, we can tell no one. And
And
now it's just like, yeah, we're in the Onceler
I
fandom.
don't care. Like, I'm not ashamed of it. I like the Onceler fandom in retrospect. It like, of course, there were a lot of very dumb, stupid things about the Onceler
It was
fandom.
honestly one of the happiest fandoms I was in,
Yeah,
despite the fact that there was a lot of fighting. There was a lot of fighting, but
yeah,
it was still one of like my best fandom times I've ever had.
yeah. Like,
Why did I make that like that? That doesn't make any sense for the type of shirt this.
I don't know. I was really
Sorry.
liking. No, it's okay. Now that you mentioned the kind of shirt it is, I'm like, oh no, you're right. That doesn't make any sense. Even though I really liked the shape of that sleeve.
I really like the shape of that sleeve, but it
It was
doesn't
so
make any
nice, but it doesn't
sense.
make any sense. Um, but like, the Onceler fandom. It's not that there wasn't a lot of fighting, and I know that in general people. But I'm like, man, if you had a problem with it, just fucking tell people to tag their Onceler shit and then block the tag. You're done. You're
Which
free.
people are tagging their stuff like constantly because they wanted to. We had a lot of tags, and it was even if you didn't like certain AUs. Like if you're into the fandom and you didn't like the AUs, you could block all of the AUs
Yeah.
very easily because they all had specific tags.
Yeah. Like I can understand there's something a little like I can't even like this is really just an outgrowth of like a thing that's just the case with all fandoms. Pretty much all fandoms once they run out of like normal content, like, canon content, as time goes on, they will start creating AUs. And inevitably, the AUs bit by bit will straight up just not be even remotely related. It's like, how there's like a million Sanses and like
And
none
they
of
all
them
interact. Like Sans Undertale is actually the closest I've seen to
to
being the
yeah.
Onceler fandom.
Yeah. It's very similar in that respect. And that's not what I'm there for the Undertale fandom for. I'm there for actual Undertale. So a small part of me is like, can you just tag this as like the Sans fandom and not Undertale? Because this is an Undertale, and I'm here to see like my found family shenanigans, not your
Yeah,
Sans interacting with another Sans.
yeah, it's like I remember with Onceler fandom when it started becoming like, hey, can you not tag this the Lorax or can you specifically tag
Yeah.
it like? And it was just like, yeah, that's fair because some people genuinely were looking for the movie.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's the thing, is it after a while that happens, and that's the thing that was frustrating about the Once thing, is eventually it started to kind of feel like it's like, well, why don't you just make your own OC, man? And I get
Well,
it. It's
that
because
was the other thing that happened with the Onceler fandom, though, is that de-Oncelorization became a
yeah,
thing. It
that's
become
true.
a
That's true. Yes, but some people did not do that. And the thing is,
yeah.
like, I get it, cause
Let me save.
it's like, you want to be a part of the thing, and so you want your Onceler or whatever to interact with the other Oncelers, and that's just sort of how it happens. It's fine. But and I think that's partially just something that some people just kind of grow out of. Like, because some of it is just like, eventually you realize that your fan character, I'm like, this is just a character. I can just, I have learned how to write and draw through this, and I will now take it and do my own thing with it. Which is cool. And other times you just made cool fan art, which is also fine. All fandom is valid. I'm not gonna shame you if you were in the Onceler fandom, because I was in the Onceler fandom. Yeah, Sans is the Onceler now, and that's fine. Like, that's not a bad, like, that's just a thing. Like,
That's just the thing that's happening. It's not a bad thing. It's not a good thing. It's
that's just
the
a
thing
thing.
that's
Yeah. Like, I
like
mean,
if you get that worked up over it,
yeah.
take a break.
Yeah, like, I'm not gonna say that the Onceler fandom or the Sans fandom or whatever doesn't get annoying, because yes, it does.
It
Please,
does. It
please,
did.
like, there's, like, it's kind of stuff or stuff like, there's a like, we got an asking why we've never done an Undertale Discord murder party scenario. The answer is specifically because I've had people tell us that we can never escape Undertale. And I'm like, well, I'd like us to separate from that. We're our own thing. Uh, but like, just because that thing is annoying doesn't change the fact that Sans is still a really great character. Like, it
Yeah,
doesn't.
pretty much.
He's the fandom exists for a reason. Um, like, just,
Did
tag the thing and let kids have their fun, or not kids. I shouldn't
I
assume
delete
age.
Grace? Where is Grace?
But yeah, like, although when it comes to San, people, oh god, people do still associate Undertale with IR. It's bizarre, honestly. But, so this is a dumb thing. So, when I first got into Undertale, like, I got into it, like, in, like, July, August of 2016, so almost around the 1 year mark. And I was just like, oh no, Sans is my favorite. I can't let other people know. It'd be like, Kristen, who's your favorite Undertale character? It's Undyne? You're lying. No, it's definitely Undyne. You're lying. Okay, fine, it's Sans. I'm sorry. He's just really cool. I'm gonna write a fanfic. God damn it. You can't find Grace? What do you mean you can't find Grace?
I mean that I can't find her lair, like,
Oh
anywhere.
no! You lost her!
How do you lose a woman?
How do you lose a woman? So much.
I genuinely can't find her lair, actually.
Oh no.
Like, I can't find her or Dawn's lair, and I don't want to do it again. There she is!
Yeah! Yeah! We found Grace!
We found Grace.
Hang on, I'm gonna switch to the regular Kristen by herself image so I can find some more lo-fi, because our lo-fi has run out.
Oh yeah, my lo-fi stopped too.
There we go. Okay, fixed.
Gosh, Mickey.
Gosh, Mickey.
I'm sorry. I actually had like a mini heart attack.
No, I understand.
Because I was just like, Grace? Grace? Grace?
For those of you who are just tuning in, what are you drawing, Brodingles?
Hi, everybody. So recently, the DMP cast was like, we're gonna make a Twitter, specifically Adric. And then, on that Twitter, Grace and Junior were like, we should work out. And so I'm drawing that because I thought it was cute.
It is cute. It's a good time. Meanwhile, Junior's just like, this is no big deal. Junior's 100% taking a workout selfie here, basically. Oh yeah, it just worked out. No, I really did. I'm just strong.
I'm just strong. Like, he's gonna be there for a while if he's doing, like, own weight, like, body weight workouts.
Yeah.
Because Like, I'm pretty sure he has to live something bigger than him in order for it to. Wow.
I'm sorry, just that line. I was like, what? Something happening with your pen pressure? There we go.
I might have to buy another tablet soon.
That sucks.
Because this one, like, the wire is all janky. And it keeps, like, moving around.
Oof.
And if I move even slightly out of this position, it will disconnect.
That is unfortunate. Gosh, dick. Eleanor 9 Lime says, I love you for those Twitter accounts, but I also hate you because now I spend half an hour every morning reading up on what those chuckle fucks did. I understand.
What?
Apparently, this person said that they love you for these Twitter accounts, but also they hate us because now they spend half an hour every morning reading up on what these people chuckle fucks
did. Good. Right now we're talking about ties with hens on them, so...
I wish my arms worked so I could get in on this, but I also don't know how much Murder God can interact with these people. God, maybe I'll just make it working week Murder God and just hang out with Zeffy. It's fine, we'll go have our own Twitter with blackjack and hookers. Listen, I love playing Murder God, but it does mean, unfortunately, I get to spend a lot of time going, oh yeah, I play the villain, I can't interact with any of the cast.
Geez, you can't do that.
Huh?
You're cutting out a lot.
Oh fuck, I can't leave the...
Exactly.
Hang on 1 second, let me, fix that real quick. There we go. Hi. Sorry guys, as I think I've explained this before, but about an hour or so into me being in call, for whatever reason, I just start cutting out constantly, because Discord doesn't like my mic for some reason. So, yeah, so I had to leave the call, but I couldn't do that easily because the way I'm getting this image is I'm capturing a, stream from Discord. So, that's fun. It's a good time.
One day I'll draw hands properly, but today is not that day.
It's fine. Yeah, it's fine.
It's a stylistic choice.
Exactly, yes. It's a stylistic choice.
See, that's the fancy way of saying it's just my style.
It's just my style. Oh, God.
Is the truth that I actually can't draw hands? Yes, but I have found a way around it. So
sometimes it's just what you gotta do.
I'm getting better, actually.
Yeah, I've seen some good hands from you.
Yeah, it's becoming more intentional that I don't draw them correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, initially it wasn't, I just couldn't draw hands, and now it's just like, no, I genuinely just like how this looks.
See, I'm the weirdo who likes drawing hands, but I acknowledge that I'm strange.
Well, it's not that I dislike drawing hands. I actually really like drawing hands, I'm just not good at it.
Yeah, that's fair. It takes a lot of practice.
Yeah, and like, the thing is, it's hard to get a reference, because you gotta look at your hand, but you're using your hand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now I'm seeing the oh my god, there are people in chat who actually like drawing hands. Amazing. Finally, I'm not alone. Oh gosh.
Probably should have detailed this before I started thinking, but...
Fine. So, I have this thing where, oftentimes, this happens a lot when I do stuff for, like, when I draw stuff for work. I'll be asked to, like, do, like, okay, we want some, like, intense detailing that makes this look like this mysterious ancient artifact or whatever, or like, oh yes, we want to make sure we have all this detail to make it look like it's coming from Spain. And I'm like, okay, yeah. And then I just sort of like scribble in some vague shapes. And I'm like, okay, well, this is future Kristen's problem. I'm sure I'll fix it later. And then I get to the inking part, and I get to the part that I just lazily scribbled in, and I'm like, ah, this is current Kristen's problem. Damn you, past Kristen. Damn you. Like, why?
Why, SpongeBob?
Why?
Why didn't you do the sketch correctly?
Because I didn't have time. Also, it was kind of lazy. Oh, hey, Ninoy's in the chat. Hi,
Hi,
Ninoy.
Ninoy. Sup, nerd?
Oh, hi, Carl. Oh my goodness, so many people here. Wow.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Like, oh my god.
Oh my god. We're just gonna do the rest of the stream like this, and then everyone's gonna leave.
Okay. Bye.
God.
I can bring back Betty for like 2
No,
seconds.
You know, I don't mind Betty. I don't know what everyone else's problem is with Betty.
Oh, everybody else's problem with Betty is that I'm doing it. It's not her actual voice that's the problem.
See, I don't find this weird at all. I don't know. I'm like, okay, sure.
There's absolutely no tension in that left.
Yeah, you're right. God.
If I didn't have one hand over Control Z right now, I would use it as a reference, but I can't. So
Can't. You could pull up the beef pictures.
that is what they are here for.
Pull up the beef. Pull up the beef.
Well, I guess it just looks like there's no tension in the first place. They look like they're just not having any trouble, like, whatsoever. They're just kind of here.
Yeah, what the fuck?
I guess the hand was fine. Well, it could stand to be flatter.
Yeah. I think that's the big thing. It just doesn't look like it's bearing weight. That's the issue.
There we go.
Yeah.
Now it's too flat, but I'm not gonna fix it because no, I am.
Yeah, as you said, I'm like, he's gonna fucking fix it. He's gonna fix it.
I have some standards.
I have standards. So now, whenever I think about, like, I'll go by, like, an Olive Garden or something, and then I'll just start laughing, because I'll just think of the words that's going on about having fucking standards.
God, Kristen, did you hear the thing that I made for my class?
Oh yes, I did. It was so good.
There were actually lines missing from that because it was longer.
Damn it.
It was longer. It had, like, mention of the olive pardon in it. It was like, welcome to our mall designated Auntie Anne's, because every mall has an Auntie Anne's. And also the slightly more exotic olive pardon, but only slightly more exotic.
Slightly more exotic.
You won't be able to see past her skirt in the first place. I don't know why I'm even bothering that. There's something wrong here. I'm gonna erase. Grace, why are you being a problem child today? That's better. That looks like it's on the same plane.
Hooray.
But does it still look like it's on the floor?
Let's look at the floor.
What angle did I put the floor on?
Yes. Yeah,
oh
no, it's making a tangent!
No!
Oh god, to me it looks like you just sort of screamed and then grabbed Grace's hand and then just ripped it off of her fucking wrist. No! You won't make a tangent!
There's no right, time for John. I might finish doing the line art for this before we go on break.
Yay!
Let me save.
I'm seeing arguments in the chat. Folks, listen.
I just see all caps.
Okay, listen, folks. Here's the deal. Just because you are not good at drawing humans, or hands, or whatever, if you are good at drawing a thing, congratulations. You're a good artist at something. Heck, even if you're not great at it, as long as you're drawing awesome, all art is valid. But that being said, like, it's just, oh.
No, John showed up. Sorry.
There's John. Anyway, the point is, first of all, if someone says nice things about you, it is healthier to just let it be, guys. Let it be. If someone said something nice to you, they probably think that nice thing about you. And accepting it is good for both you and them. Accepting compliments is good. Say thank you.
I made a comic about this, and I posted on Tumblr. But it was a character, like somebody saying something nice about this character, and the character being like, "Oh, psh, you don't waste time on trash like me." And then they said, "Hey, you recognize that, like, I know you're trying to protect me or whatever, but you recognize that you're like ignoring my autonomy as a person."
Yeah.
By not allowing me to have an opinion.
Yep.
It's like you're trying to. It's like, this is my opinion of you. Even if you don't respect yourself, I respect you, and you should respect that.
Yep.
And it's just like it's weirdly like self-centered. To weirdly, as in like not the typical. To be like, you're thinking about how you think this other person should feel, but you're not accepting the fact that they themselves have feelings.
Yeah.
It's something that you need to like acknowledge, that like, hey, this person has said a nice thing, and you're basically telling them they have terrible taste when you say that they shouldn't like your stuff.
Yep, that's true. Also, like, in general, like, even if you don't necessarily agree with it, like, there's a difference between, like, you know, there is such a thing as healthy self-criticism.
Yeah.
But there's learning to do it again in a healthy way. Like, putting yourself down is not helpful. All you're gonna do is, you know, make those bad feelings about yourself, like, actively worse. Like, yeah. So, yeah, it's, sorry, I'm, lately, ever since going to therapy, I've been really strongly at bat for, like, guys, please don't be mean to yourselves.
I was gonna say lately.
It's been like a
It's
year.
been like a year.
Yeah. It's helped a lot. Therapy has. If you can, go get therapy, guys. Therapy's great. Okay, so I'm seeing more continuing stuff in the chat, so since I'm here also. Okay, so, hey! So you want to do art for a job! You! That's right, you! So, and you think, but I'm not good enough for that!
You are.
You are.
You definitely are.
Yes. Here's the thing, with the magic of the internet, you have access to people who like your stuff. And if you continue to make things, people on the and offer, you know, these things for money, there will be people who will give you money. Listen, I make a living doing art. And, like, I spend... Honestly, up until I... Actually, yes, past that. You're never going to think you're good enough. That's just a fact of life. You're never gonna think that you're good enough. That doesn't mean that you're actually not good enough. So yeah, just, like... I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm tired and I'm trying to think of better ways to say this. I feel like I would be more.
Let's put it this way. Every piece of art that you think is bad that somebody put on their billboard, somebody got paid to put it on a billboard.
Yeah,
And somebody thought it was good enough to put on a billboard.
Yes, there is also. God, is there ever that? Oh.
It's like what you consider bad, somebody else considers absolutely fantastic. You just have to find them.
Yep, pretty much.
Like there's a market for everyone. That's just being practical about it.
Pretty much. And you know, if you work at it like let's see here. How do I even
John is lying.
John is lying. He's beautiful.
I don't know why this is the funniest thing.
Because it's the funniest image of John that's ever existed. That'll teach you to act like you're too big for my fucking void, bitch. Can't do one push-up, can you, John? Oh, Big Party John can take down the fucking void. He's so strong, strongest thing, so strong. Murder God had to send him out of the fucking void. He can't do a push-up, can you, John? What's the matter, Superman? Can't do a push-up? On that note, I think that it's time for us to go on break.
It's time for break. It's time for we need a break.
Okay, we're gonna go on break.
Time.
We'll be back. See you guys in like 10 minutes. Bye, 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 bye.
His name was John, and it was not the Cena. He just.
Hang on. I'm trying to think of like, okay.
John Smith was just a normal emo man.
Then it turned out he wasn't fucking real.
That makes more sense in the plot of Evangelion. I wouldn't know because we haven't seen Evangelion.
No, actually, that really fits Evangelion quite well. All this time you weren't real. I can't fucking believe.
All this time you weren't fucking real. I cannot believe that your name is not John. You've been John for so long that I almost forgot.
Sorry, my bad, I got it wrong. Anyway,
so where are you today? I guess you're on Twitter, that's where you
stay.
This is dumb and we're dumb for doing it.
How the fuck does this work? I'm pretty sure you're played by Moon now. Sometimes he's big brain and
sometimes he's big brain and sometimes he's Mal, but sometimes he's also Squibble.
In spite of that, the Twitter still exists. I don't know how this fits in the canon.
I don't know what.
This is so stupid. What is happening right now?
John happened. John came.
Ah, yes, my favorite DMP song, Cruel John's Thesis.
I really want to do Cruel John's Thesis too.
Just with this image.
If you can hear me. If you can hear me, please. No! No! Okay. I accidentally deleted the layer.
No! What do you mean you deleted the layer?
I had deleted his skin tone layer.
Oh no. We laughed too much.
This is John getting revenge.
We got too silly. We forgot about business. Oh my god, I forgot to play the music. Oh my god, I'm sorry. Hang on, let me fix this. 1 second. I gotta find the lo-fi. Or I could just play Cruel Angel's Thesis, but I'm not gonna do that.
I was about to say, this isn't a monetized stream. Just go ahead, just
Wait,
go
you're
for
right.
it.
Hang on 1 second. Hang on, I'm gonna find a lo-fi version of Cruel Angel's Thesis.
Oh, there's this great jazz version, actually.
Ooh, I'm intrigued.
Like, it should have either Shinji or Kaoru on the piano.
Well, I just found something. Sounds nice. So, wait, they should be on a piano. Oh, wait, yeah, it's coming up after this one, so I guess we'll just sit through this. This is nice, though.
I wish I could hear it.
I wish you could hear it, too. I sure wish that, YouTube didn't decide Fredboat was dumb. So I'm just curious, how many people here have actually watched Evangelion? Because I have, of course. But shockingly, I didn't watch it until, like, last year. And the reason why I didn't watch it is because I had for a very long time, I absolutely despised all mech anime. This is because I had two friends who were like so obsessed, and they would constantly talk to me about this and try to get me into it. And thus, I had what's the fucking, you know, when someone just constantly tells you about a thing to the point where suddenly you no longer want to see it anymore.
I know there's a word for it, but I don't remember.
Yeah, there's a word for it, but I can't. No!
Gotta get rid of the background.
But yeah, like they wouldn't like, and I love these friends, but in their defense, you know, they were in middle school / high school, and so was I, which means our social skills were not the best. But anyway, like, I had one of those friends where, like, they would, like, endlessly, you know, the friends who will, like, endlessly quote a thing to you to the point where it's like, why would I don't need to see this anymore. Like, I have seen Monty Python and the Holy Grail once. But if you go by the amount of times I've had friends quote it to me word for word, I've seen Monty Python and the Holy Grail like 10 times. But I had these friends who just would constantly, like, just would not leave me alone about it. And I'm like, I don't ever want to watch this now. And in retrospect, I'm like, Babby, Kristen, you didn't need to be like that. But like, I was.
It really do be like that.
Sometimes. It really do be like that sometimes. Sometimes Babby Kristen was an asshole. But yes, but in general, just, I don't really like mech shows very much. I don't find them interesting. I don't like giant robots. I just don't like them. I don't get the appeal. But, finally I watched Evangelion with Steve. Oh god, it wasn't last year. Oh god, it was 2017. 2017 was 2 years ago. It wasn't 1 year ago.
It's almost 3.
It's almost 3 years ago. What the fuck? We watched Evangelion. Evangelion is pretty good, except for the ending. The ending is bad.
Yeah, everyone. That's what I've heard. Is that everybody's. All I know about the ending is congratulations.
God. Okay. Well, here's the thing. There's the congratulations ending, which is bad. There's stuff about it that is interesting, but the execution is bad.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the actual ending, which also has interesting ideas. And it's executed well technically, but not writing-wise. Writing-wise, it's absolutely bullshit. It's this whole thing where, like, Evangelion is one of those things where, like, I come away, like, I'm like, this has a lot of really cool ideas. But in the end, it kinda, like, the character of, Kaoru, aka, like, Pretty boy Kun, who is there for all of one episode to feed all of your fans.
Only in one episode?
He's only in one episode! And that episode has, like, no budget.
He's only in one episode,
He's only in one episode, and I think maybe he actually, like, there's, like, one scene between him and Shinji. Like,
I've been lied to.
Yeah, like,
everything I know about Evangelion is a lie.
Like, he might be more featured in, the updated movies, but I have not watched those, because I didn't feel like watching Evangelion again.
Oof.
Yeah. Yeah, like, basically what happened is they poured all of their budget into the start of the show, and then as the show went on, they were like, oh fuck, oh fuck. Like, the
People
show-
are actually watching this. Oh,
like the ending felt like it needed like multiple more episodes, way more budget, and probably someone also needed to go to the writer and maybe do some editing. And go, so this is a good idea. How can we make this actually like work? It's just, but it's okay. Congratulations lives on forever and it's still hilarious.
secret DMP ending.
Secret DMP ending. Congratulations. Okay, I'm gonna pick. Are we still? I don't know
What happened?
I don't know where YouTube's gonna take us now. I guess we're gonna find out. I guess we're just doing various piano covers of Evangelion, and I guess that's just the life we're leading. But yeah, so that's my hot takes on Evangelion. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. I know that all of you care a lot. Someone in this, it's okay, someone's gonna stumble upon this, like, years from now, and this is gonna be my, like, you know, bad tweet that's gonna get me cancelled, because I thought Evangelion was good, but not good at parts. I'm a monster.
Where is Grace?
I don't know! You keep losing Grace! Why do you keep losing Grace? There she is! We found her! We found Grace!
I almost color picked her jacket, then I realized it's not in this picture.
Don't.
San koku
God damn it, now it's stuck in my head.
no
Stop losing Grace, we've already lost Christine. Who's ready for many months of this joke? We've already been telling this joke, like,
We've been
behind the
saying
scenes.
Christine's. We'll be in the middle of a conversation. We'll be like, "Yeah, and this Awaken does this, and this Awaken does this. Christine's dead.
She's not dead. You guys don't know what
She's
happened
not
to her.
dead.
Bro
Don't
doesn't
know what
know
happened to
Bro
her.
doesn't know what happened to her.
I don't know what happened to Christine. And honestly, if you told me, I'd be very angry.
I would not tell you.
I'm just like if the real talk. Like a lot of times, if I find out stuff for the show, it doesn't affect me at all. This is one of those things where if I found out, like, oh god, Junior would not.
You'd have to live with you'd have to like try to clamp down this major character change for Junior for a while.
Yeah.
Well, the hard thing will be that, like, there's gonna be a scene that explains what happens to her, but I don't think that Murder God will know, but I don't think she would tell the Awakened for a while.
Well,
I'm sorry to
oof.
say that's a problem you're gonna have to deal with.
That's fine.
Yeah, so audience, you will know what happened to Christine before Junior knows what happened to Christine.
So you're gonna get that good old second hand.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that delicious, delicious second hand.
Yep. Christine is currently just Sir not appearing in this film.
God.
Evangelion is a good song.
Evangelion is a good song.
That's it. That's the name of the song. Just Evangelion.
I thought you were saying that the name of the song is Evangelion. Is
No. That was one that Phoebe said that in the chat, and I thought it was hilarious. Yeah, it's ideally it'll be like a My Name Is John thing, similar skit. Ideally, just so we can have an actual send off for Cammy. But I have to be able to write the script and so on, so we'll see what happens with it. I mean, we've got like 3 months, so presumably it's possible.
We have so much stuff to do.
We have so
in
much
this next
shit to
3
do,
months.
right? And honestly,
Some of it's not even necessary, but
yeah, like you all just came up with all these cool ideas, and I'm like, awesome if you want to do that, like go for it. But I have to focus on actually making season 3 happen. So
yeah, no, this is part of why I haven't actually included.
Yeah, please don't include me on these things. As is, Murder God's probably not going to be doing much tweeting because, well, A, I don't think people want her there, but, B, like, so this is also why I actually don't roleplay as Murder God outside of, the show, because for me, when a character changes, like, in a roleplay, that's it. That's how they are now. Like, Working Week Murder God is separate enough of a character that doesn't like affect how Murder God is. But I don't want the Twitter to like affect things too much.
Yeah, no, I feel you because like uh even with just the couple days we've been doing it, Junior had like a weird epiphany and I'm like, oh wait, shit, it would have been great
Yeah.
if you would have had that in the actual like
Mm-hmm.
uh
Yeah, for some of those, honestly, maybe we'll look into those and see about maybe like recording those scenes or something, just so we have like extra stuff. Like that's always an
Yeah.
option. Like as long as it doesn't include like specifically out of character stuff. Like the Awakened are gonna be in the Void, in the lounge and hotel and stuff until season 3 starts. So there's space for extra scenes.
Yeah. As in like because there was other things we talked about, like the fact that Valencia knows nothing about these people.
Yeah. Yeah, so like my initial plan was to set things up so y'all could do extra scenes between this stuff so we could, get some of that good character interaction and make up for stuff like the fact that Valencia has barely had time to be a character.
Yeah.
So yeah, like if you guys if there's any really good Twitter stuff, we might take some of it and just dub it or something if you guys want. We just, can't dub anything with DDD or
Yeah.
John.
I know there are some conversations that like that I think would be cool to dub.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's mostly because sometimes they'll have like genuine like serious like I remember Valencia and Percy having this really cute moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like I do.
And then
Sorry, go on.
sorry. No, I was just gonna make like another like reference to one like and Tommy and Junior had a really good discussion like last night.
Mm-hmm.
So that was interesting.
Yeah. No, I feel you. Like, I don't want to say the Twitter is totally not canon, because the thing is that, like, all content and character interaction is honestly, like, really important for character development. Similar to how, like, whenever we come up, like, the whole thing about Percy punching a kid in Sunday school is something we came up with 1,000,000 years ago, and the truth is, it has been canon and has informed some of what Percy is like.
Yep.
So I don't want to say this stuff isn't canon. Some of it would have to be, just because, like, you're having these character interactions. It's just, like, John and DDD's presence makes it a little complicated.
I like to think that the characterization is canon, but not the events themselves.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like, if you have conversations that are, like, just between the two characters without involving any of, like, the shenanigans, yeah, that's fine. Oh, hang on, I gotta fix this because I'm getting tired.
I forgot Grace's shirt was white. I keep wanting to make it off yellow.
Okay, I'm done with you Evangelion music. Not feeling it anymore.
I can't hear it,
No,
so
I know you can't. I'm just telling
God,
you.
I'm always here to listen to Cruel Angel's thesis, and I hate the fact that I'm the one person that can't hear Cruel Angel's thesis.
I'm sorry. Okay, we're just
But
gonna listen to this
if
Final
it's
Fantasy
done-
X lo-fi mix for a couple minutes here.
But yeah, no, they've had like some good conversations that I've kind of been like, I want this to be either an extra scene or I want it to be acknowledged at some point,
Yeah.
or
If you guys want to, like, gather stuff up and dub it or something, feel free to. Like, I would really appreciate that because we need the character content. I just, I can't be the one that organizes it.
no, of course. We have so much like whenever I go into the Discord server, the fandom Discord server, and I straight up say we have so much stuff just like planned, we have so much stuff that's just sitting here, and it's like people really like working on the thing.
Yeah, no, that's one of the things I love about this show is just, like, everyone just does this shit. I don't have to. It's not often that I really have to ask for much when it comes to DMP content. Like, really, the only thing we struggle with is the logs, which, to be fair, the logs are a pain for everybody. Nobody likes the logs.
I-
But they are important. Actually, that's
I
not
like
true.
the
I like the logs.
Well,
Well, here's
I
the
like
thing.
doing the logs.
Um,
I don't have to record for them and I don't have to write them, but I
Yeah.
do a lot of art for them and
Well,
I do edit them.
The logs are stressful for me because like I have to get them, you know, written or get someone else to write them and get it all done very quickly. So that's the tough part. But I like the logs mostly because like for the logs I usually get to get some input into what Murder God's thinking while this is all happening, which is always fun. I don't know who actually listens to them and pays attention to that shit, but you know.
I do.
Yes, Bro Dingle's the biggest DMP fan.
I'm sorry. I got eye surgery and my brain was
No, it's okay.
DMP now, and it's just like, and then I did, and I always end up listening to the log for obvious reasons because I'm editing
Yes,
it.
yes.
So, because my brain's just like, you never watch the logs. Why are you talking about? And then I was like, I listen to every word of the logs
Yes.
because I have to edit them.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad.
I don't have to watch the log. I helped put it together.
I'm glad you guys like the logs. Thank you. Because yeah, I like the only thing that's stressful about them is just like, okay, I gotta record this monologue very quickly so we can get it all done. But the last one was very fun to do.
The last one made me sad.
Good. That was what I was trying to do. It
Like
did.
I feel so bad for Murder God sometimes. Like even if it's like she doesn't. Did my pen pressure?
No. There we go. It's back.
Like it's this weird position where it's kind of like play stupid games, win stupid prizes, but at the same time, it's not exactly fun watching somebody fail constantly and not truly understanding why.
Yeah.
And it's not fun. Like I don't know. I just don't like seeing people in pain.
Well, I appreciate that. I'm glad somebody doesn't like seeing her in pain.
It's not to go back to my fucking character and all that because I talk about him a lot.
That's perfectly fine.
But the thing is, Junior's like really similar in the sense of he doesn't. Ironically, the serial killer doesn't like to watch people suffer.
I can't believe.
He genuinely does not like it. Like he saw what was going on with Valencia, was like, "Shit, I hate this shit. I hate this. I hate everything about this." He sees like if he sees somebody in pain, he goes into protect mode. Which is why at the beginning of last episode he was like, "Hey, I'm kind of worried about Murder God, like, yo." And then Christine went missing, and he was like, "Oh, I felt bad for this bitch." And then he felt bad for her again when he found out that she
didn't know
Christine
what was going on.
It's like, and he's just like, "Oh man, I'd love to blame somebody for this. I can't." Because I gotta blame myself. Whoops! I lost Christine Forks.
No, you didn't! Junior, you didn't do anything!
He feels like a massive failure right now because he's just like, man, I just dedicated myself to helping these people, and once again, I've dedicated myself to a loss.
Oh.
I have once again, the moment that I dedicate myself to something, it all goes to shit.
Oh. Yeah, I'm sorry that I've allowed you all to have all these great character revelations only to immediately rip it from you. I mean, it was the only thing that made sense narratively, but, you know.
Oh, no, it was. I enjoyed every second of it as a player. I'm just saying that, like, everybody's had a terrible time, but
Yeah.
I'm hyper focusing on my fucking character.
It's okay to hyper focus on your character. That's completely normal, bro.
Okay, I'm saying that like my brain's just been kind of like, man, ever since Junior woke up, nothing good has happened to him.
No.
Except maybe the mall.
The mall was good for
He
him.
holds on to the mall. The mall was the only good thing that
I mean, to be fair, I think really very few good things have happened for any of the characters.
that was my point. That was kind of why I was just like, it's not exactly a fair hyper focus because I don't think anybody's had anything good happen. I will say that his Lotus Eater was kind of fucked up.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, like, I think it's perfectly normal to, like, I have an entire playlist dedicated to Discord Murder Party. Do you want to know how much of it is just for Murder God?
Most of it?
Yes.
See, what's weird is that I don't have any songs that I just go like, yeah, this is a Junior song. Wait, no, I have like two, and you know which two they are.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't Most of the songs that like end up coming up for me are for everybody else's characters.
Mm.
I do not, and I have exactly 2 songs that make me think about Junior.
Mm-hmm.
And like technically they work for a lot of people.
Mm. I mean, I think that's, like I said, I think that's normal. I think everyone, like, I feel like at least once a week, I have to tell one DMP player it's okay to focus on your own goddamn character.
We all just want to be altruistic towards each other, and we
I
want to.
know. And that's very sweet. I'm glad that you're all willing to share the spotlight. That's very nice. But also, it's totally okay to just talk about your own goddamn character. Like, it's Scott.
Hello,
Hey,
hello.
Scott.
Ooh, Scott,
Kristen's
you are loud.
telling me the thing that you tell me a lot.
I'm loud?
Yes. Hang on. Talk some more.
Talking?
I
Talking.
think you're fine now. I had you turned up all the way, I think because your mic was acting weird last time, so...
That would make sense.
Yeah. Alright, well, we're good now. I don't know, like, that was a million years ago. Everything's different now. Actually, I think it was probably in DMP that I turned you up, so...
Yeah.
That was
So
a
how's
million
it
years
going?
Good, we're talking about DMP, as happens in the Kristen by Herself show.
Yes,
she's
that one series, that just the small father, that small husband-wife thing.
Small thing that we're doing here.
she's telling me the thing that you yell at me about, Scott, which is you're allowed to focus on your character.
Yes! That's perfectly normal.
What? You mean you... I was about to make a joke there and I forgot what I was going to say, so just ignore me. Yes, have fun with your character. Go nuts.
Yeah, it's totally fine.
I just have so much choice meat to pick
Don't
from.
obsess over Malifane constantly, all the time?
Yeah. Like, yeah,
I'm aware.
Murder God has a big ol' playlist. Murder God is pretty much all I've thought about for the past, like, nearly 2 years, so...
That's fair.
Even
It's
while
like
we've been
I
on
was talking with my
hiatuses.
mom.
Oh god, you know it's worse during hiatuses, are you
It's
kidding
worse
me?
during hiatus.
No, I'm never free.
God.
Sorry, continue.
No, I was talking to my mom, and my mom loves Junior so much.
She does.
She really does.
That's
And like the
adorable.
thing is, I also have a cousin, several cousins actually, but I have at least one specific cousin she's always talking about named Junior. And we were talking like to the GameStop guy the other day, and we had been talking about DMP Junior, and she said, he really reminds me of Junior, and I had to stop for a second, one because it's the GameStop guy, and then I had to take that brief moment to imagine Junior working at GameStop, and which he would do, but then I was just like, really, that guy? I don't know, man. And then she was like, no, I don't cousin Junior, and I was like, oh. This happens. This is a regular occurrence. Like, my mom would be like, because I was showing my mom my sketchbook, and she was like, that's a really old picture of Junior. I was like, how can you tell? She's like, I've seen your newer pictures of Junior. This is definitely an older picture of Junior.
Yeah, that'll do it.
My parents will never know about Murder God.
God. Ow.
Oh, I see. We're still.
My
doing...
parents just think that it's like, you should talk with your real friends, but I mean, as long as you're enjoying it, then keep at it, I guess. Which is like the best backhanded compliment, I guess?
It's okay. I don't know if anything's ever going to top. What have you been doing, Kristen? I'm working on my show. Oh, the one that doesn't make you any money? Thanks, Mom.
Except it almost does.
It makes me
not
some
frequent
money,
enough.
Mom, just not
Makes
frequently.
cash.
It's not a phase!
It's not a phase, Mom.
God, I guess like I talk about him a lot because whenever I get stuck on a thing, I get stuck on a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just become like a regular occurrence with me and my mom.
Mm-hmm.
I even mentioned him to my therapist today, and my therapist was listening very intently because apparently you learn a lot about me by hearing me talk about Junior for a
Yeah?
very long time.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's just he's kind of, the more time goes on, the more I'm just like, ah, yes, this character is an amalgamation of everyone I have ever met.
God, I feel that.
All configured in like this weird little ball of a single entity.
Mm-hmm. Oh god, Ninoy, that's really sweet. Ninoy says, my mom is sad because she can't understand English, but she would really love to watch a DMP, and that gets me all soft.
Aw,
Like,
Oh,
aww.
poor thing.
But yeah, no, I feel that. I've told my therapist a bit about Murder God, but usually we're talking about, like, my feelings about the show as a whole and stuff like that.
hmm.
Well, because Murder God has some very specific parts of me, but Murder God, honestly, a lot of Murder God has more to do with me processing therapy than it is about what I'm doing. Like, I'm like, Murder God was born around when I started going to therapy, which should tell you a lot about how she's ended up as a person. It's fine.
God, there's so many elements of my. I get that. Like, our characters are basically the embodiments of us as a person, and that is so true. I
Mm-hmm.
like Percy is kind of an insecurity for me because it's just I constantly have this feeling that it's just I want to make this decision, but is it really the right thing? Am I going to disappoint other people in the process? Oh god, why do I always put other people before myself? And that's just a vicious cycle. And that's basically Percy, or at the
Mm.
very least, season 2 Percy, because god, he made a boneheaded mistake.
Percy only existed in season 2.
Yeah, he's only
You know,
exist.
you know what I mean.
So long.
Pre-Lotus Eater.
That's been his
Yeah.
whole arc. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the good news about that kind of thing is like, hey, Percy's made some headway. Maybe you can also make some headway. Sometimes we learn
Maybe?
things from our OCs.
Maybe?
Like I Junior being a more empathetic person than me has made me kind of go like, if Junior the serial killer can learn how to do this, you can learn how to do.
Gotta do those push-ups.
Oh, it's Kim. Hello.
Booga booga.
Ooga booga.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
This is Kim Hedron. Hello, everyone. I never know how to pronounce your name properly, and I'm sorry. I never
Don't
see you
worry
in
about
call.
it.
I'm sorry, Kim.
Don't
Yeah.
worry about it.
We're streaming some things and stuff.
Mm-hmm. I
Mhm.
see.
Yep. But yeah. It's so interesting to see how different characters you create in different times of your life really do. It's really true. That is kind of interesting.
Mhm.
Yeah.
God.
like like I can depending on who my favorite character was at a time, like can really tell you a lot about like there are certain types that I have, and also just like it's I'm like there are certain types, and also these certain types probably say various things about me. It's fine. You could also probably get a lot if you knew my entire creation history, but fortunately, no one has ever read my entire fanfiction history, so no one will ever know the various themes that I touch on constantly. We're all safe.
The other thing is that God, I can't believe what I'm about to lead to with this. It's good to sometimes get all of the bad shit out of the way when you're younger in order to get to your, your betterment. So I can't believe I'm saying this, but it's kind of a good thing that we have our Sonic OCs, if you know
Oh
what I
no,
mean.
yes.
You
Oh no,
know?
no.
Oh, it's definitely a good
No,
thing.
it's very good to no. It is good to have no, your Sonic
Sonic
OCs.
Chew.
Your Sonic okay, Sonic Chew is Sonic Chew is an outlier because that guy has some genuine problems.
There are exceptions,
but
of course.
Girl.
that's not related to Sonic Chew itself. But your like my first OCs were absolute garbage. Thankfully, GeoCities no longer exists, so no one can see my bad like Digimon OC websites that I made.
Oh boy.
Don't. Please don't.
Oh boy. Wayback Machine. Here we go.
But yeah, I like when I was younger, there was a lot of hate online for like Mary Sue's and self-inserts and stuff like that. And I'm not gonna say that like there isn't a place for making sure that you have well-rounded, like well-written characters. But also, honestly, there's a place to just make your like self-indulgent self-insert. Like that's really okay. And also, it's important to do those self-indulgent things and make your bad stuff, because you can only make good stuff by making all that quote-unquote cringy stuff first.
No, definitely. It's a filter, essentially.
Yeah.
You're just trying to get all the grit and grime out in order so you can finally have a polished product. Or at least as polished as you can have, anyways.
Yep. There's a book I read on writing, and one of the things that was really hammered in was the concept of shitty first drafts, which is just basically just get something down, get anything down. I don't care if it's the worst fucking thing possible, just give yourself permission to write the worst thing possible, because once you do, it's out and you can clean it up and fix it, or maybe even realize, okay, now I've turned the faucet on, I've cleaned it up, and I can do something actually good.
You know, it's really funny you brought this is just funny story time, but I remember you bringing it up once before, and I was in a meeting with one of my professors last week, and she said, you know, I think you would be interested in this book, and I was like, what is it called? And she said it's something like Shitty First Drafts. I'm like, oh, that's really funny. My friend Kristen brought that up before. So, there you go, you have something in common.
I can't believe that I'm giving similar advice to professors. Oh boy.
Yo, why did I give
can.
this dude plaid? Like, why was I so?
You know, I ask myself this every time I have to draw Junior. You did this to us both, and we both know why you gave him plaid, because he's from the 90s.
I mean, remember Moon's first character design?
Yeah, that was evil.
Yeah.
Jeez, why did I give you plaid? Because I look good in it, and two,
Mm-hmm.
because
Yeah.
heckin' it's the 90s.
Because I'm this look good.
Oh, this is a nice comment. Dat Shy Guy says, the difference is that Sonic 2 focuses on a reflection of the author that only focuses on positives, or whatever positives they want to put in there. The DMP characters feel more like reflections of personal experiences mixed with regrets. The difference being that one is just a glorified Superman, whereas the other can be molded and grown as the story goes on to become something better than Superman. That is very
One
nice.
is Superman, the other is Goku.
Like, I'm not gonna say that, like, I also do think that there's a place for, like, you know, making Superman. Part of the thing I've been dealing with recently has actually been, like, being okay with, like, seeing yourself in the good aspects of a character, if that makes any sense. Like, when I was first on the interwebs, there was a really, like, I had it really hammered into me, you know, make sure you make a well-rounded character, no Mary Sue's here, no self-inserts, and in some ways, all that criticism did help me learn to write really well. But, a lot of those experiences combined with other stuff kind of led it to be, like, you can't, like, picture yourself being good. Like, murder.
It runs so heavily on the implication that you already view yourself as good
Yeah. And
that
like,
it forgets that you might not.
yeah, it's like you, like, when Captain Marvel came out, I saw it with my fiance, and we came back, and this is really dumb, but, like, it's not dumb. Afterwards, like, I just started fucking crying, because, like, okay. So, I really love Tony Stark, because I relate to a lot to Tony Stark's flaws. That's what I love about Tony Stark. Tony Stark is my favorite Marvel character. But Captain Marvel was, like, you know, she's this blonde girl, and this whole thing is set in the 90s, and, like, and she wanted to be like and she wants to be like a fucking pilot, and that's actually something I wanted to do when I was a kid, and I gave it up. So, and you know, there's this girl who I very heavily could see myself in, and she just got to be a fucking badass. And like, I just started crying because like seeing myself as Tony Stark and with all of his problems is not hard. I can see myself in those things. Seeing myself as Captain Marvel, who has all these good things that I could associate myself with, that is somehow much scarier because it's letting yourself think that you could be good. And that's something I like. I struggle with this stuff. Like Pearl from Steven Universe makes me cry a lot too. So like I relate a lot with her, and seeing her overcome so much and go on to just be such a badass makes me really emotional because I'm like, oh, I could also be good. That's fucking wild. And I know that's kind of like, I mean, that's kind of some dumb. Anyway, that's your dumb TMI. That's the thing. That's what I like. Murder God comes from a lot of, like, I mean, not. I would not say that I'm that much like Murder God when it comes to her flaws, but like I put a lot of my own personal like negative feelings, and I was like, okay, yeah, these can go into these flaws. Yeah, fuck this bitch. Creating a flawed villain or whatever you would call Murder God is not very hard because I don't view myself in a heroic light. I think whatever character I make, I think that like making a character that like is just a badass and is cool is honestly some of the crazy. It seems so crazy to me. Like, you're letting yourself like yourself and be cool. Like that's even Murder God's honestly a pretty big jump since she's so clearly based off of me and is just an edgy OC that I would have made in high school. And the fact that people like her kind of blows my fucking mind. I'm like, no, you're supposed to hate this. Middle school and high school told me that you should all hate me and say mean things to me. And no one said anything mean, and that's very shocking. Thank you, everyone, for being so nice. Anyway, thanks for coming to my TED Talk. There's drinks out there.
Cookies and punch at
There's
the door.
cookies and punch at the door.
Kristen,
Yes.
we love you.
I love you too.
Man, you just told me that I'm allowed to gush about my character. You're allowed to gush about like what makes you feel good.
Oh,
So, here's the thing, and this is related to a game that Bro and I are playing, so I'm going to avoid all spoilers possible. But, there is a character in a game we're playing called Mu Iruma. According to the developer, she was meant to be the most hated character in the franchise, yet despite that, people still love her. So, my point is, just even if you try to make the most despised and despicable character, someone, somewhere will still find something redeemable about them. It doesn't matter how, or where, or when, it will happen.
Yeah. No, that's very true. I've been thinking about that a lot lately too, cause
What player is Grace on?
Grace! You keep losing Grace!
I've lost Grace so many times in this one stream.
Amazing Grace.
But like, there's been stuff like, with the most recent DMP stuff, like with the log and things like that. You were talking about how you were like, oh no, Murder God is sad and I feel bad for her. And like, and that makes me really happy because that was my intent. And I've been very scared moving forward because, I mean, Murder God has been changing as the show has been going on. I hope that that is not too wild of a thing to say. I hope that I have successfully portrayed that. But there's the whole thing on Tumblr that's like, if a character does a bad thing, you can't like them. Like, it's not that I would expect people to say that what Murder God does is okay. It's not. She's done truly horrible things. Like, I wouldn't expect people to say, oh yeah, it's totally fine that she sliced Tommy to ribbons that one time because she was mad. That's a reasonable
I have
thing.
my own issues with that scene, but that's another story.
That's a reasonable thing that humans do.
But she was sad, so it's okay.
No. I'm not saying that a character being sad means what they did is okay. She's not an innocent being.
But she was sad, so no.
But she was sad. But like, but she is meant to, you know, be at least sympathetic and ironically come across as quote-unquote human, as it were. Like, if she comes across as sympathetic, then I've done my job right. I don't want her to just be, like, a one-note... Like, Okay, real talk, I've seen people be like, oh no, she's just being manipulative when she says something. I'm like, okay, that'd be boring, first of all. Like, that would be really boring if everything murder... Okay, listen. If Murder God is acting super emotional, what's the more interesting option? Is it that she's lying for the sake of being manipulative, or is it more interesting that she's genuinely feeling emotions? The second one is more interesting. So, like... sorry, I've...
What are you apologizing for?
Cause, like, it's
Because this is a call-out post.
It's such a gauche thing to do. Like, people are saying mean things about my character
People
on the
are
internet,
saying-
and like,
Oh my
I just want
God.
to say that, like, this is
Kill
what
them.
I was going for. So, like, if you don't get
It's
it,
just my style.
it's just my style. Yeah, like, I'm not gonna say that she's not a fucking villain, cause she is a villain, but...
She totally is, but
I mean,
We create traits that we don't intend to sometimes.
no offense, but Murder God always came off to me as a spoiled child. She's cocky and gloats when she believes everything's going to plan, but starts getting flustered and dishing out punishments the second things don't go as planned. I mean, yeah.
she kind of is.
She is kind of a spoiled child. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not saying that that's... I'm not saying that she doesn't act like a spoiled child. She 100% does. Like, that is by design. That's fine. Like...
You figured it out.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you're correct.
You've broken Murder God down to repair.
Essentials.
For bare necessities.
Yeah.
It's like I like her because she's complex, as in like, and I know that that's like apparently a controversial. It's like it's weird because it's like you can have a villain that's both complex and still a villain, man.
Yeah.
It's like Murder God is very clearly the bad guy here.
Yep.
Like nobody's. It's not like are the Awakened the truth? No, there is no are the Awakened the villain. They're not.
No.
You awakened are the
Like
race villain.
there's no ambiguity here about that.
No.
It's straight up Murder God is the villain here, but like let's get into that for a second.
Like, yes, my intent would never be that, like, she's not the villain or that what she's doing is okay. Like, I'm not gonna say that
Right.
there isn't... I mean, she has her reasons and motivations. I'm not gonna say, like... There's reasons why she does the things she does, but, like, that doesn't make what she does okay. She doesn't need to slice Tommy to ribbons because she's mad. That's... No.
No.
Like, no, she didn't need to do that.
That was unnecessary.
That was
more than
very
fun.
unnecessary. Completely unnecessary.
I forgot John was here.
Oh my goodness.
I
Wait, what
forgot
is
about
this
John.
for anyways?
Twitter.
Twitter.
Oh, TMP, okay.
But, yeah, like, I just, sorry, I don't mean to, like, it's just, I've put a lot of work into this character, and it kind of bums me out when if people are like, oh no, she's just this. I'm like, no, there are layers. There are layers.
Onions have layers, and she's a
Onions have
smelly
I was
layers.
one.
just about to make a joke like that.
Onions have layers, and she's a smelly onion.
Ugh.
Murder God is just a smelly onion.
She's just a smelly onion.
God is an ogre.
Ogre. But yes,
Shrek
Get out of
DMP
her
win.
swamp.
never. Gradual progression of who can and can't do push-ups. Fucking
God.
dead John. So good.
What layer is John on? The one that makes sense, bro. Dingles. The bottom. Why are you like this? I'm sorry. Wow.
New raster layer.
No!
No.
So I'm very happy that this is a thing, by the way.
The Twitter.
The Twitter or this image?
Twitter. Well, I mean, this too, yes.
Mm. Well, I'm glad y'all
Should
are
I
having
bother
fun.
to-
Bro and I were talking about, so if you guys do any scenes that, like, you know, are just like the characters talking in the lounge or whatever, if you guys decide you want to like dub them as like a canon scene, you are free to do so.
I see.
Yeah,
I want the Junior and Valencia scene where she finds out that was in the Black Stars. I want this.
no, that sounds wonderful.
want
I would
this
really
very
like that to be
badly.
canon. Yeah. Just, you know, you guys have to do it.
I have to talk to Uprising about
Of
that.
course.
You guys are
'Cause
the
it's
ones
a
that has
thing
to
that
make
I
it
want.
happen.
Bad.
No,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, I wish I could do more with the Twitter, but I know that I can't. Life is suffering.
Like you said that while I was
I am
looking
life,
at.
therefore life
Sorry.
is suffering.
Looks at John. Life is suffering.
I shouldn't laugh at that.
No, it's
But I
okay.
did.
It's
No,
funny.
John's having a bad time.
He's having a bad time, and it's very funny.
Having
You
a
missed.
really bad
No,
time.
you missed when Bro finished the line art, and then I just ranted as Murder God about the fact that the oh so powerful John can't do a single push-up.
Oh, baby.
He's a dumb baby who can't do a push-up.
But why?
I don't know.
I mean, in comparison to the two people he's trying to do push-ups with, was the point.
Mm.
Scott, do I need to draw the diagram again, Kristen? Do I need to draw the
I didn't even
hecking?
hear what you asked.
The
I'm sorry.
diagram? Oh yes, the diagram.
I didn't even
Listen,
hear what you
listen,
asked. I'm
because
sorry.
Junior is a monster. Grace
Okay.
is
and-
fit. John is a normal human. And Tommy, who is a squiggle, is just cancer arms.
Where are the others in this?
Someone had to hold the camera, so I think Tommy's holding the camera. This is all like based off of like Grace asking for a fitness buddy,
Oh,
or
yeah.
more correctly, saying she was gonna work out, and Junior offering to be a fitness buddy because
Where the
he's
hell was
he's
I
an
when this
asshole.
was asked?
Sleeping probably because no one else does.
I will
Well.
be right back. Entertain the audience, folks.
What should I put in this background, everybody?
I guess Percy was never actually that fit to begin with. Oh well.
Listen, I can only use 3 people in this
No,
this
no,
production.
it's okay.
Not to mention Percy wasn't there for the conversation, so
I'm messing with. I know I'm messing with you. Put in the back. Ooh, you know what this reminds me of? And I'm not saying do this, but it kind of reminds me of the Wii Fit Studio.
I don't know what that looks like. Can you send me a picture?
Yeah, sure. I guess what I'm saying is I kind of imagine like a glass pane. Like a...
Oh, right. Okay, the only reason I'm not doing windows back here /
Oh, yeah,
mirrors
yeah,
is
yeah,
because
yeah,
then I have to
that
draw
makes
the
sense.
reflection.
That's fair.
Cuz trust me, that was my first thought is like, yeah, no, a giant mirror. Let me put the shading on the ground. Wait.
No, that makes perfect sense. What else could be done then? that Shy Guy put the little Wii balance board in the back.
This actually came out really well.
I'm happy. I don't know. This is difficult. This is legitimately difficult to think of. God, poor John.
How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
52 planks. Why?
Oh, thank you for the answer.
Yeah, of course. Why do you ask?
That's the question I ask when I'm thinking a lot, and now that I know the answer, I probably need to.
Oh, I guess you should ask a different question then.
Okay, I'm back. How many mean things did you guys say about me?
Not a single thing, actually.
So many mean things.
We did. I mean, I guess if you're a woodchuck, then we said one thing maybe.
I'm not a woodchuck.
Then
Well, then
we
didn't
said
say
nothing.
anything.
Oh, I see.
Puts red strings in the background there.
Is it- I
Oh, wait a
mean-
minute! That squiggle actually good. Hold on, I had an idea.
Time to do the 90s
This is gonna
squiggle.
sound terrible now, though. But
You
I'm actually
joke,
just
but that's
picturing-
exactly-
I'm not. Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm going for.
I'm just picturing John being held up by red strings as he's just lying there. I know that's not what's happening, but... poor guy. Can't catch a break.
God.
Being
This
John
image is so
suffering.
Why does
stupid.
that remind me of the 90s drink
That-
cups?
that's
That's
the
exactly
point.
what I was going for.
Oh, okay. I didn't catch
The
that. maybe.
90s swirl.
Only 90s kids can exercise here. Oh, wait.
Stares at Junior. God.
Good
It looks so
recreation.
dumb, yet here I am. I just imagine that murder god, like, when it came to the... Because I know for the kitchen, I couldn't think of what to do for the kitchen, so I just put loading kitchen because they weren't supposed to find it yet.
Nice.
So maybe with this room, it's like... most of the room hasn't been felt out yet. I don't know. Someone's gonna call me out on the fact that I have not drawn... I have not full background, like, not one time for any of these.
I don't think anyone's actually gonna call you out because art takes effort and you're making a lot of it.
God.
The awakened always
Yeah.
exercise and drink cups, yes.
For some reason, the 90s squiggle weirdly works.
It
And
does.
I hate it.
I kinda like it.
I kind of like it. And highlights.
Bro, add highlights to her hair.
Highlights to her hair.
Do you have the highlighter Grace picture?
I have the highlighter Grace picture. I was gonna wait until I actually posted the regular Graces,
Okay,
which I have not done yet.
Okay.
Where is the... Oh man, I drew the background on the stupid... Heckin... Hold on. I was wondering why I couldn't move that. Actually, you know what? I'm not gonna worry about it. It's not my problem anymore. This is why you try to manage your folders, everyone. Where's my gradient tool?
Tool presets. Stream pop.
That's not the color I meant to use. Yeah, I'll use green. Since there's like a heavy green aesthetic. Except for John, who's dying.
Except for John, who's dying. But his red kind of works with the red that's like kind of
With the
showing
red
up
on
everyone
Grace,
else's.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like, I feel like they all have really similar palettes right now.
they do. It's working.
Actually, this.
I've had so much popcorn lately because all I've been able to do is sit there and watch anime and eat snacks. And so I was like, perhaps today I won't make popcorn. And then I realized how futile that was because after every stream, I always want popcorn. Like, that's just a Pavlovian effect at this point. I'm going to make popcorn, and that's just how it is.
What folder is this in? Is the background still in this folder? No, get out of this folder. Thank you. Well, crap. Hold on.
I'm sorry I made you guys want popcorn. It's cruel. It's cruel because because no one can have Kristen popcorn, and I'm sorry. Popcorn is the best though. It's so fucking good.
Everyone's weirdly green now.
No.
How am I supposed to put my patented gradients on here if I can't? Life is suffering. Being me is so hard,
I know.
and
that's just super fucking hard for me.
no one appreciates how hard it is to be me.
I appreciate how hard it is to be you, bro. I understand. It's just super fucking hard for me.
When Junior has dreads, but I refuse to do the separate sections because I.
God, the other day I saw a tall, muscular man with dreads, and I was like, it's him. And then I was like, Kristen, every tall, muscular black man with dreads isn't Junior. And I was like, are you sure? Are you sure they aren't all just Junior DMP tail?
Oh no, I feel the same way.
There's this bus driver who looks like Junior, but he has glasses, so it means it's college AU Junior. And he says a little rhyme whenever people get on and off the bus. And I was just like, this is the time when Junior had a job as a bus driver. Which makes sense because Junior has had every odd job.
I like how I actually have a limit to what he has and has not done, but all.
Like, what's the limit? Where do you draw
He's
the
only
line?
had about 7, but
Oh,
it just
okay.
feels like he's had more than 7.
Yeah.
Because he only had jobs for like 3 years. He would work somewhere for about a month or 2, and
Are
then,
you
no,
still
he's had
drawing?
more. Than
Because
7.
it's gone. The screen's gone black.
Why has the screen gone black?
Yeah.
I'm gonna close Clip Studio and then
Hang on,
open it
hang on.
again.
Let me. Okay, it's back. Just wanted to make sure it didn't suddenly jump to our Discord or nope.
Is
Okay.
it just
Yeah,
not? Is it
it's
because
back.
I'm drawing?
It's back.
Is it because it hates art?
Yes, Discord hates friendship and art. Where did Scott go?
I don't know.
There he is! I summoned him! I summoned Scott by asking where he was!
Oh my god, I can't breathe.
Where were
Would you like the silly answer first or the serious answer
you?
first?
Silly answer first.
I died for a moment. I was drowning, but I'm okay now, so...
Okay. I mean, Vincent survived for 2 weeks, so I'm sure you're fine.
Yeah, I know, but, you know, it's just a couple minutes.
Mm-hmm.
No, my folks called me to just check up on me, and bless you. Bless you.
You know,
And I'm not sure if it's just Verizon phones, or if it's just mine and my parents, but, whenever they've been calling me, my phone I haven't been able to hear them.
that's
And
weird.
whenever I call them, they can't hear me. So I had to restart my phone.
That's fun.
Yeah! But I'm back.
He's back.
I'm back.
He's back.
He's back in action.
No, I'm lying down, actually.
I also am lying down.
Oh,
I
well.
didn't do DMP from the floor the past 3 episodes.
I'm so proud of you.
I actually sat up like a normal person in a chair.
I'm so proud.
That's actually how I've been doing streams when I've been at home. I've done it lying on the floor.
See?
If it makes you feel any better, there's a carpet, so...
No, yeah, it does. It makes me feel fine. Like, I lie on the floor when we do streams because, like, it's more comfortable.
Is there a carpet
I
down
don't
there
really
at
have a
least?
desk, so...
See, I'm usually sitting at my desk, but my desk can be adjusted to be a sit or stand desk. So lately, whenever we have like the big plot scenes, I actually adjust it to be a standing desk so I can stand while I do my big dramatic monologues that have to be
A
timed to
standing
music.
desk?
Yeah.
Never heard of that.
Oh, that's they're actually pretty
I mean,
common.
I assume it's exactly what it says on the tin,
Yes.
but I mean...
Yeah, mine it can adjust to whatever height I need it to be by pressing a button.
Huh.
Yeah. It's honestly particularly fancy because Steven had to get the one that's made specifically to be able to adjust to either very short people or very tall people. At its this thing, like, bro, you've been in this room, so you know how obscene this is. That like the tallest this desk gets to is like roughly where the light is, like where the light's hanging down in my room. It's like, which is pretty high up, like an obscenely tall height. And then it goes down, like, usually I have it set to the lowest setting, which
So
of
what you're
course,
saying is it can be adjusted... Sorry, I didn't realize you were still talking. Continue.
well, currently, usually when it's adjusted so I'm sitting at it, it's basically adjusted at, like, fucking, like, child desk height.
So what you're saying is it can be adjusted for people as tall as Junior No Last Name or people as short as Kristen Trzynski.
Basically, yes. Actually taller than Junior, no less.
Taller than Junior. People forget that, like, okay, here's the thing about Junior. Like, I joke
6'1",
about
right?
how tall he is,
There are
but for
heights
my
to-
family, he's short.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, my father is 6'4", so...
It's like, oh yeah, Junior's 6'1", and it's just like, yeah, no, that's an average height.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it
Oh,
is.
of that
is.
family, I guess it is.
For my family, it definitely is. Like, I'm considered kind of short, so
How tall are you again?
I'm 5'8".
Oh, okay.
There we go, making the light red.
Yeah.
I mean,
Evened it out.
5'10" is... 5'9", 5'10" is average height for a guy in the
Yeah.
States, so...
Yeah.
I am average!
Everyone's screaming layer 34.
Layer 34.
I have 34. I have 40 layers. Wow.
How do you have 40 layers on this?
Now that I think about it, 10 of them are just for reference.
10 of them are just the recursive
Are
beef.
just the recursive beef, like...
I ask again, how the do you have 40 layers?
That's
Well, that's 4 right there. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Oh, references.
5. Yeah, I
That's
have
still
10
only
that are
10.
reference layers.
I'm
And then I have at least 3 layers per character. And then
Why?
I kept there because I need
That's-
a sketch layer, a line art layer, and a flat color layer.
Scott,
Oh,
like
oh,
for
whoa, 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 whoa,
Scott,
okay.
for me, like an average picture usually has about like if it's a simple image, it's usually somewhere between 20 and 40 layers. If it's something more complicated with the background, it usually jumps to like the 60 to 70 range. The really complicated images can have over 100 layers.
I am not a true artist, apparently.
Well, different people work different ways. Like for me, it's usually like every character in an image gets their own sketch layer first of all, and then
Oh
you know,
wow, 20 of these are reference layers. Sorry. Continue.
like every character gets their own sketch layer, so I can move them around, and then usually the background can get anywhere between 2 or 3 sketches depending on like how many like levels of background I'm going with. Like in a full illustration, I usually have like a sketch layer for like foreground, midground, and background. And then, but usually once that's done, I will merge the background layers all into one. And then, like, if I'm absolutely set on like a character, and then like every character will get their own line art, and then I'll flatten down the sketch layer and then just put it aside. And then every character will usually like. The thing is, usually I will like have a different layer for like, okay, this layer, her skin is there, but also I'll put like her pant color down on this layer because those two things aren't touching. And I'll do that for like every part. Usually I'll just like try to have as few layers as I can possibly have while still making sure every like isolated area of color like won't be touching each other. Because then it's easier for me to like select, because like once I get to that, once I'm done with like the flat layers, how I shade is I like select whatever area I'm shading to make sure I don't like bleed into anything or anything like that. I say
Lighter
this.
floor or dark? I changed the floor.
It looks nice.
I don't know if I want the lighter floor.
I like
I
the
like
lighter floor.
Done? Question mark? Hold on. Let me add one more glow dodge layer just because I'm like that. Whoop.
Yes.
Glow dodge.
Opacity!
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 Opacity.
That didn't really add anything. Delete.
Delete. Anathema, don't put your art down. I will personally come to your house and look you dead in the eyes and yell nice things at you.
Like, while I feel you on a personal level when it comes to if I didn't add glow good
Like,
art, like, don't say that, because it's probably it's fine without it.
You're just bringing yourself down, man.
Yeah.
Like, I feel you, like, highlights and glow really do add a lot to art. Like, it does. But that doesn't, like, okay, so you're good at glow, that means you're good at something art-wise. That's worth something.
It also means that you recognize when and when not to use glow dodge.
Yep.
Because, like, you can overuse the glow dodge.
God, can you ever overlose the glow dodge?
I just knocked it down to 19%, and it's a little much.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably going to put another filter on this, but in a different program, which means that I'm done for now.
Oh, cool.
It looks good. I like it. Yay!
Yeah, that's fine the way it is. Literally. Okay, let me save. I have not saved at all.
God!
Save early, save often. Save early, save often.
Wait, I forgot to put the. Forgot Grace save. Grace. That's the shading layer. Means that this will be the obligatory blush layer.
I envy artists.
You are an artist,
You are
Scott,
an
just in a
artist.
different like.
I'm a singer. I am not an artist.
You're a graphic designer, you piece of
graphic
shit.
designer is an artist.
Eh.
No, I'm not. No, I'm calling.
Scott, I'm a graphic designer. Graphic design is an art.
I can't
I'm
do
not
it.
saying graphic design isn't an art.
You're an
I'm very much aware that it is.
Scott, you're an artist. I swear to fucking God, I will fight you.
Here's the thing. Okay, look. I'm not okay. I could have phrased what I said much better. Let me put it in a different way. I see other people. I have an inferiority complex. Let's put it that way. I see other people and their work, and it looks so good. I know I shouldn't have the outlook that I do, but it's like everyone's work looks so good, and mine just is.
Scott, your
I'm
art
trying to
looks
get better about
good.
it, but it's like, eh.
Well, something to
I just
remember.
stick to singing, you know.
Something to remember is that when you're making visual art or writing or whatever, you know what the thing looks like in your head, and oftentimes some of your disappointment is just going to come from the fact that it doesn't look like it did in your head because you don't have the skills yet to make it look like it did in your head. But most people looking at your stuff don't know what it looked like in your head, so to them it looks good. You can say you want to improve, but that doesn't mean that you're like, bad,
Yeah, of course.
It's important
And
to
again,
not...
I'm not saying that it's absolutely impossible for me to improve. It's just difficult. Like again, I have that black and white mindset at the time, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you are improving.
Hmm,
Yeah,
I appreciate
I
it.
have seen you improve. Not to say that you were bad before, but yes, I have seen you doing good work. I could hear where that was going. Fuck you. I did not mean that as an insult. Sorry, I'm very much not in a patient mindset when it comes to people being mean to themselves right now. Like, no.
Again, that it was just poor phrasing on my part the first time around, and I apologize for that. It was just yeah.
I see y'all's art sometimes and go like, man, I wish I could do that, and then part of my brain's like, bitch, you can. No, and then other times it's like you can't yet, but
Yeah. And some of it is just like, different people have different skills and things they're good at. Like, so bro knocked this out in like 3 hours, and he's like, this is so slow for me. And I know that that's true, and I really wish I had that ability. I wish I were even like slightly as fast as Bro Dingles is at making the arts. I wish I had that skill. I'm working on it. I wish I had it now, but I don't.
you've definitely gotten a lot
I've definitely
faster.
gotten a lot faster, yes, but still. I could
Like,
still...
that's out of necessity, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Kristen does the good details.
I do a lot of
And I'm
details.
just like, oh man, I'd love to do details. Like, I have done exactly one image with really proud of it, but I need to but it's still not done.
God.
Yep. Yeah.
God. Well, it looks like we are winding down.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, just
Looks like it.
remember guys, even if you think you are not good, there is probably someone out there who does. And also, even if you think you're not good, I know that like it feels good in the moment to express that you don't think that it's good. But if you feel that way, I do say it's helpful to try to like find a kinder way that you can speak about your own work to yourself, because the kinder you are to yourself, the better you're going to feel. Just trust me. I went to therapy. I'm still going to therapy.
Trust me, I went to therapy.
My therapist is still trying to get me to say nice things about myself. It is a really hard thing to do, but it's worth it. But yeah, just keep working on it. Please be nice to yourselves. I believe
Is
in
it
you.
weird that my brain keeps saying you haven't drawn today, and I'm like staring directly?
You haven't drawn today, bitch. Look at this.
Shut up.
Shut up.
You haven't drawn today. This is more dynamic than most shit I do.
Indeed. Just yeah. Even if you can't go to therapy, just be nice to yourself. It can do a lot for you. Thanks. This is my old person I went to therapy talk. Please look at Bro's amazing art. My arms are kind of feeling better, so that's pretty exciting.
Love you, Mom.
I love you too, son. Okay, this was a good practice sketch, says Bro's brain. Now do actual art.
That mood, though.
I understand this.
God.
What a mood.
God.
But yes, I think we're good. Does anyone have any final thoughts for this this stream? That I don't even know if this is going on YouTube. I don't know.
I don't see why not.
Yeah.
As long as one of us remembers.
As long as one of us remembers.
Yeah.
But yeah, stay in school, eat your vegetables. Please be nice
Don't
to
do drugs.
yourselves. Don't do drugs.
Unless they're medicinal, in which case, yeah,
And
please
this
take your
yes,
drugs.
yes, please take your drugs if you are you're prescribed to take those drugs. Please take your meds if you have not taken your meds and you need to take them. All right. Good night. We love you all. Thank you so much for coming, everyone. Love you all.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.
Bye. 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 Bye.
Whoa.
Bye. Bye. Bye.